Hello and welcome to a new chapter of the Rising Dawn, Eye of the Storm. I'm R, your Dungeon Master for this evening. Are we ready to go?
Yes, please.
Let the adventure begin. My name is Prince Vanden of the Dawnbringers. I am travelling with my three constant companions, the bard Astra, the mage Cassian, and the druid Sariel. Our last adventure was supposed to be our final adventure. The four of us uncovered the city of Valathra in the frozen north of Caldera, a lost civilization with a dark and dangerous secret. In the process of tracking down some missing rangers, we were subject to visions of each other's darkest desires, making our way deep under the city into a cavern of the Underdark, where we finally defeated an ancient evil that had been trapped there. After everything the city put us through, and not least the revealing of Sariel's heart-wrenching past, we decided to stay together. We travel now by ship, south from Watcher's Respite, in pursuit of an unknown destination determined by a star map, painted by some kind of magic onto Cassian's skin. Party, Dawnbringers. We are sailing now on the Reveller. The Reveller is a beautiful schooner, 120 foot in length, with an oak hull and two black masts, strung with three huge white sails. We travel with a crew of 8. Amongst them our quartermaster, Sam Beckett, a half-orc in his 40s, our bosun, Marlowe, a sea elf, or perhaps half-sea elf, in his late 20s, and Mary Kidd, our first mate, and a tabaxi.
Oh yeah.
Vanden is standing at the helm as captain as we leave port. His hands are gripping the wheel and his knuckles are turning slightly white, while he does his best not to let his fear of the open water show to the sailors. Where is everybody on the ship?
Astra is sat up at the bow of the ship. I know that word now. With his lute on his lap, just picking at the strings, tuning it, and playing a song, leaning against one of the ropes that's going up towards the mast.
Nice.
Cassian was beside Vanden, showing off his arms for the sake of the map, but we'll probably scribble down the map at some point and just leave it to the side.
And I would say as well that after a moment or two, Vanden's like, well, we've got to go 7 days south, so I'm probably not going to need this for a while. So is he moving on or is he staying up there?
He'll just go sit around that area and just look at the view.
Nice. Sariel?
Sariel has seen that Vanda's a little stressed, so she'll get out the book that they found in Valathra about the stories about Saline, and she'll just find a crate or a box somewhere, sit and perch on it, and just read aloud from it for Vanden to try and distract him.
Vanden he doesn't tell her to stop, doesn't prompt it for a while. You can see that he's concentrating on the water, on the crew. It's been quite a long time since he's done this on a ship this big. This is probably 4 times the size of the Lyra bird. But after a while you can tell that he's listening quite intently and smiling a little. It's a couple of hours that you travel parallel to the coastline that leads south before it kind of veers off and heads further inland, and the ship is just left heading out onto completely open water. Ahead of you, there is nothing on the horizon line except the ocean. There's quite a heavy southern wind, blowing you down south, so the ship is moving at a decent speed. It's at this point that Vanden's eyes can't stay on the horizon line any longer, and he just finds himself staring down at the deck, and it's like, I've maybe made a mistake.
How so?
Don't know if I can do this.
You're doing it, aren't you?
For now.
Do you want one of the other crew to take over?
I think that might be worse.
Okay. What can I do?
Maybe you can fetch Astra up here?
Okay. She'll hop down and go get Astra at the front.
Hello.
Can you come and speak to Vanden?
Yes. Yes, of course I can. Head on up.
Do you remember when we sailed over Lake Felric and you did something to calm me down?
Of course.
Just think you can do that again?
Just relax, I can sort that out. We'll lean on one of the barrels and just start playing, like continue to play and cast calm emotions.
He just lets out a long, slow breath and seems to visibly calm again. That's better.
If I'm honest, I think I needed that myself.
Yeah?
That was the first time I was on a boat was the one that you sailed.
The Lyra bird?
Yes. And there was always land, and now there's not. So I kind of understand that.
It's not nice, is it?
No. It was great when you could see it. I'm gonna keep singing and just distract.
After a while, the quartermaster does come up and take the wheel, just because that's his job. It's not the captain's job to stand at the helm all day long. Vanden moves back to sort of lean against the back railing with all of you. So, like I said, we're probably a week off. What are we expecting to find there?
If I'm being completely honest with you, I don't really know myself.
How do you know when we found it then?
You'll know.
Yes. I expect something along those lines.
I understand that. You can't always expect to know what's ahead.
No, I suppose not. But it is the location I've been given.
Well, that's all we can do to hope for smooth sailing.
So who is this friend?
Just someone from back in Middletown.
Have they said you're collecting something, or?
I have something I need to attend to. I'll catch you later. Cassian just sort of gets up and hurriedly excuses himself and just disappears.
Huh.
That was odd.
I really like Cassian, but no offense, I just never expected him to have friends.
That's not very nice.
No, I know, but it just never strikes me the type to keep people around that long to want to do something for them.
No, I know what you're getting at.
When he's not even around to defend himself.
Am I wrong? Are you going to look at me and tell me that I'm wrong?
He's not here. He's gone. He's absconded.
Have you sailed before, Sariel?
Not like this. She sort of deflects. So is there anything we can do to help around here, or would we just get in the way?
Probably not with me, but if you speak to the crew, I'm sure there's something they can put you to task. So I should point out, and Vanden, who dealt with the ship back in Watcher's Respite, will point out the various crew members to introduce you to them properly. He points out Sam Beckett, the quartermaster, and he tells you the quartermaster stood at the helm, is just like listening to this, nodding his head. He tells you that the quartermaster is essentially the captain under the captain, and like essentially the manager of the crew. So the captain decides where you're heading and gives the overall sort of ruling on what needs to be done, but the quartermaster handles the rest most of the time.
He's the logistics man.
You see Sam Beckett, he's a half-orc about 6'2", very broad shoulders, in his 40s, with a like short and very messy crop of salt and pepper hair, but a very well-groomed beard and a big gold nose ring.
Yes.
He's wearing like a sleeves torn off, red and sort of pale striped shirt. And he looks quite rough and like he's been at sea for maybe most of his 40 years. Quite a resting look on his face that doesn't look friendly. But as soon as Vanden introduced him, he turns around with a huge smile and is like, hey, that'll be me, Sam Beckett.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Sam can then point out to you the other members of the crew. So you see Marlowe, this aquatic half-elf. He's got hair shaved at the sides, but long and pulled back, sort of in a ponytail down the back of his neck. Pale, like tanned from the sun skin with a slight hint of blue to it, but mostly natural where it catches the light. It's sort of like the shimmer of fish scales. And he does have some fish scales sort of going down his neck, and slightly frilled ears like a triton, but like the frills on the end of elf ear tips.
Cute.
Well cute, mate.
He's got scars in all the right places. He's got white ink tattoos across his skin. So you can see, as he sort of moves up and around a boat, you can see hold fast on his knuckles, crossed anchors on his hand, and a nautical star on his other arm. And then just peeking out of his shirt, you can see a swallow.
I appreciate that just one of his hands says hold, so it's just like,
Hold.
I will.
And the other one's fast.
And then Sam can point out Mary Kidd. Mary Kidd is a tiger tabaxi.
Yes.
Wow.
She's wearing knee-high heeled boots.
Hell yeah.
With like tight breeches tucked into them and a loose billowy white shirt underneath, but she's got a waistcoat on top of that, so the billowy shirt's like tucked in tight, and like long wavy cascading brown hair to her waist.
God, I was about to say I'm not a furry, but if I'm having those thoughts, I'm not going to say that anymore.
She's got tiger stripes across her face, and she's dripping with jewels.
What a queen.
You can see in the other crew members who Sam refers to as the ABS, the able-bodied sailors.
Ah.
Okay.
A full
Abs.
sea elf, another half-orc, who must be a water genasi and a human among them. And they're sort of rushing around doing the more menial tasks on the ship. Sam's like, if you want to help out, you could probably head down and ask Marlowe. He'll tell you what ropes to pull, maybe get you swabbing the deck.
Okay, anything we can do.
Great. Otherwise, just sit tight. I mean, we're used to passengers. If you go below deck, you'll find the kitchens, the food stores, and the bunks.
Should probably sort out where we're staying.
Okay, if you want to do that, or do you want me to come with you? Or...
Whatever you like. Let's go explore.
Okay. We'll see you in a bit then.
See you in a bit.
Off we go.
The two of you can climb down from the helm. It's like a couple of steps down to the main deck. And then there is a hatch that goes down into the ship. So whereas the Lyrebird had like basically a couple of steps in and then like an inside area, this you've got to climb down a hatch and a ladder.
Ooh. It's kind of creepy.
It's a bit, isn't it?
Yes.
You can head down the ladder and you find yourself in a spacious but pretty dark, like, chamber under the deck, which runs basically the whole length of it. Down one end is a small door to what you think must be the bathroom area of the ship.
Oh god.
And then there are various like barrels and crates and stuff stacked up with all of the supplies. And then down the front end of the ship, just like a dozen hammocks hanging up, all in one room.
This is nice.
Let's see which ones look unclaimed.
Sure. How do you claim something? You just...
Put all your stuff in there, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose.
You walk down towards the hammocks and they're all sort of swaying very gently with the movement of the ship. A few of them do have like belongings stuffed into them, but it's a small crew and there are several that are empty.
Which one takes your fancy?
The net one over here or the net one over here?
We've got a fine real estate going on.
There's no windows.
There are tiny, tiny portholes, sort of half a foot across.
This one's near a little window.
Do you mind if I take that one?
Of course.
Thank you.
Okay. You gotta put your stuff there.
Yeah. Dump.
Astra will reach into his bag, take out the little pouch that he sometimes has on his belt, tie that to his belt, and then put his back there and his backpack there and just. This'll do, I guess. Right.
See if we can find Marlowe.
Need do something, like earn our keep here. Feels a bit weird to just, I don't know, relax.
It's not really a holiday, is it?
No.
Okay. You put your stuff down. Cassian, where have you slunk off to?
God.
Hiding in the piss chamber.
No! I mean, he would have gone below deck for a little bit. Probably heard you guys coming and then scarpered elsewhere. And is now probably out at the front of the ship, just staring out at the water, like, oh gods, what have I done? What am I doing? What the hell is going on?
Mood. Daily affirmations.
And we'll get out his book to just calmly go through it, try and center himself on something that he's familiar with. Notice a new page in the book. And take note of that for later. And it's just relaxing by himself. I say relaxing, he's trying to give off the vibe that he's relaxing, but he's very tense.
Mary Kidd will come up towards the bow at some point. She's holding like a rope up there. She ties it off, leans on the railing and looks over to you. Not good with the sea?
Oh, no, I'm very good with the sea.
You look very tense.
I have other things on my mind.
Okay, well, maybe try talking to the ocean. She always listens.
I'm well aware. I find myself talking to her more often than most.
And if she's not talking back and you need to spill to someone else, I'd listen.
Okay. Cassian.
Mary. Obviously your big paw. And a little tail flicks behind her.
Curious, I see.
So you say you talk to the ocean often?
Yes.
You're a sailor then?
No, just an enthusiast. I live in a coastal city.
Oh, which one?
Maryville.
Been there a few times. Seems nice.
It is. Nice enough.
A bit preoccupied with everything looking good.
Yes. And we do look good.
What would be the word for it? A little bit poncy.
Okay, well, I think this conversation is over. No, I don't have an excuse. Goodbye.
I'm bored now.
I'm bored now.
Wow.
And he will wander around the ship for a little bit, kind of eyeing up all the sailors like,
As you do, you're wandering back and these two just pop up out of the hatch.
Hello.
Hello.
We're going to see how we can be made useful around here.
Oh, have fun with that.
I mean, you're welcome to join us, but if you don't want to...
Well, we don't have to be making ourselves useful, do we?
I think so.
You guys were on your keep. Besides, it'll help pass the time.
Could be a week of doing not very much otherwise.
Fine.
Good.
Sariel will walk off to try and find Marlowe, like not expecting Cassian to follow, but like, you can follow if you want.
It doesn't take you long to find him. You can see he's at the mast, like checking some of the lines, staring up to the crow's nest, and he's like, "Can I help you?"
Hi, we were just wondering if there's anything we can do to help around here. And I'll keep,
Absolutely, if you want to. I need someone to go up and clean out the crow's nest.
There's a crow nesting here.
No, the crow's nest at the top of the ship. Look, points up to the top of the mast. You see that small round platform up there?
Mm-hmm.
That's the crow's nest.
Why? Why is it called that?
Because it's like a nest for birds.
I suppose. I'll go do that if you want.
Sure. Just need you to sort of nod towards the rigging. Just climb up the outside of the ship there.
Okay, I can try. Gussy on up.
See a couple of the other sailors sort of stop to watch. You just climb up there and make sure it's clean. Then you'll find a telescope up there. Take a look out. Give us a bearing.
I don't know how to do that bit, but I can definitely clean.
You can go on then.
Okay. You'll go over to the. You'll go over to the rigging.
You reach the rigging and it's like all these ropes coming down like a ladder strapped to the outside of the ship. So you have to kind of climb up onto the edge as it's moving through the water. You reach it, you look down and you think, it doesn't really feel like it when you're standing in the middle of the deck. But damn, this boat's moving fast. You can see the water like pulling around the ship and you must be moving faster than any horse you've ridden.
Sariel calls over, Astra, can you swim?
Yes, I've swum in rivers.
Okay.
That's the same thing.
Not quite. Not at all.
At least he has the feather fall spell. He won't go splat.
Just be careful.
I can do this. We can do this, can't you, Bramble?
So the sailors are a little taken back at the sight of a dragon poking its head out of your hair, but
Pull myself up onto the side of the ship and look up.
okay. First of all,
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
first of all, make me a Constitution check for your nerves.
Saving throw or just check?
Just a check.
Okay. That's a 3.
There's a 3.
Oh!
Okay. Now make me an athletics check at disadvantage.
Oh Jesus.
Oh!
That's so dirty. An athletics.
Mm-hmm.
9.
9.
I got a nat 20 on my good one.
Shame it was disadvantage, huh?
Shame.
You put your hand up on the rope of the rigging. You feel that it feels pretty secure. You pull yourself up and then you're balancing on the wooden edge of the ship. And the edge itself is thinner than the bottom of your feet. You're wobbling there. You can pull yourself around and you can feel your knees shaking a little underneath you as the wind now whips against you as fast as the ship is moving. You climb up, a couple of hands onto the ropes, and then you feel them sort of like bend and flex underneath you, and you end up just a few feet up clinging onto them. Marlo's like, you're doing great.
I don't think that's the job for him.
You're doing great. You can come back down if you want to.
Oh,
Go a
Astra!
little bit higher.
Make me another dex check at disadvantage. Athletics check.
Oh, Astra.
Astra.
It's a 3.
No.
You put your hands up higher and your fingers slip off those ropes, so you're hanging on with just one hand.
Tail on the rope.
You still got your feet at the bottom, but you find one hand dangling off the side, and you look down. You're completely shaken. Just like,
Scurry on down.
it doesn't take more than 20 seconds to get yourself back down because you didn't get high at all.
Maybe not that one.
That's okay. I'm sure you'll be great at something else.
Maybe not that one. Anyone else want to try?
I'll have a go.
Alright.
Oh. Athletics, you say?
First of all, make me a con check.
17.
17. Okay. You're feeling brave. You're not shaken at all by the idea of falling off because you know you can just turn into something aquatic and get back to the ship easily.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Make it an athletics check with advantage.
Oh, thank God for advantage. Never had to use my athletic skill before. At advantage. Oh, another 17. Oh no, sorry, 15.
15. Still good. Still good. You see Sariel hops up, and she's so little that she's very delicately balanced on the edge of the ship, one hand on the ropes. And then you think it's just like climbing anything. You've done stranger things in animal form. And you just swing yourself up onto the ropes.
Climb on up.
Don't look down as you start climbing. And get a rhythm to it, and then one in front of the other. You're climbing up towards the crow's nest.
Nice.
The sailors are all like, whoa! Whoa! As you reach the top slowly, but you make it up there without looking down, without shaking. And you see the crow's nest at the top just has a bottle in it with a ribbon tied around it.
Hello. Pick it up and take a look at it. Is it like a bottle of booze or?
Yeah, it's a bottle of wine.
Nice.
You see Marlon lean back and go, that's for you!
Hold it up. And does it need cleaning?
It doesn't need cleaning.
Okay.
These shits.
She'll tuck the bottle away somewhere to will hopefully not fall out and then try and climb down.
Make me another athletic check at advantage.
10.
10. Okay, it's a little bit shakier on the way down. You climb over, you realise you've got a bottle of wine in your pocket, and as you start to climb you look down and you realise, oh, the ocean is moving pretty fast past you. Even if you fell in, you'd probably be swept away pretty quickly. But you climb back down, you make it to the bottom, a little bit more shaken than you were climbing up, with your prize.
It's fun.
It's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Astra's just bright purple.
I'm sure there's something else you can do. We're just playing with you anyway.
Hazing.
Shit! Sorry, we'll hold up the bottle. We can share this.
That's okay, it's your prize.
Well, I want to share it.
You want to help me with the foresail?
Yes?
Okay. I sort of gestures you down the ship and points out the huge sail at the back. So that's the main sail. When the wind is really strong, we'll just sail with that one. This is the foresail. When we need a little bit more wind in the sails, or a little bit more control, put this one up.
Okay.
So it's not quite moving fast enough. So we're gonna hoist the foresail.
Okay, we can do that. What do you mean it's not fast enough?
We're travelling about 8-9 knots at the moment. Could be doing twice that.
He just looks at these two and then just smiles like, yeah, we can, I guess. You know what you're talking about.
Okay. He shows you to the foremast and one of the ropes where it's hitched off. He's like, we just need to unhitch this one and pull it up.
Okay. I will attempt that.
Make me
Oh god.
an intelligence check.
I'm pretty good at that, Oh, I'm not meant to be on boats. 7.
It's a 7. Okay.
I'm somehow tied up in the rope.
You figure out after a few minutes how to unhitch this thing. You get the rope unhitched and then just let go of that one. And off it flies, flapping around in the wind. Marlo's just like, okay. It's a start.
That knot was really hard to undo.
It wasn't a knot.
Oh.
Bless him.
I'm dying.
That's fine. Mary, if you wouldn't mind. And you just see the Tabaxi's like, yeah, I'll get it. And she runs and just sort of jumps up onto the side and throws herself up the rigging really quickly and grabs out of the rope and pulls it back down. As she's about halfway down, she just jumps off the rigging with the rope and swings back onto the deck. As she does, her weight just like pulls the sail halfway up.
Hot.
Very hot.
And then she holds it out for you. You want to pull it the rest of the way? We can do it together.
I think you've got this covered.
And her and Marlo will quickly hoist the rest of the foresail and hitch it off. Okay. So maybe not sails.
I'm sure Cassian can do something.
No, I'm willing to accept that perhaps the ship life is not for me. You said we could do this if we wanted to, and I don't.
Mary leans over and whispers something in Milo's ear, and he's like,
Ha! Cassian leaves and goes to the back of the boat.
honestly, just relax, okay? We're here to crew the ship. We don't need your help.
Okay, sure.
I heard you singing earlier. If you want to do more of that,
I can do that. I can definitely do that.
He's very good at that.
I can hear. You know, that'll keep everybody in good spirits. Do you know any sea shanties?
No.
Well, then we're going to have to teach you some.
Let me go get my loot.
You can go get your loot, and for the next sort of hour or so, the crew launch into sea shanties.
Yes!
Singing about the open water, singing stories of mermaids and sirens, and of ghost ships. Cassian, where you've gone to the back, Vanden's not there.
Oh.
He has disappeared off deck.
Concerned by this, people go below deck to see if Vanden is okay.
You go down, you sort of poke your head down through the hatch, but he's not in that part. Turning around, you realise there is another cabin up here, under the helm.
He's in the captain's quarters.
He's in the captain's quarters.
Go knock on the captain's quarters.
You hear from inside. Yes, sorry, do you need me?
Was wondering if you needed company.
Oh, you can come in.
Just come in. Hello.
I'm like below deck. You step inside through two small double doors to quite a large wooden room. It's got a couple of beams holding the helm's deck up, and from the ceiling hang several lanterns. There is a double bed in one corner, complete with mattress and blankets and everything, and at the far end of the room, a desk with a few chairs around it and some maps spread out on it. Vanden is sat on the edge of the bed, just...
You were doing pretty well out there.
Yeah, for a couple of hours.
I mean, you don't just get over that kind of thing in a couple of hours, right?
No.
And I'm sure you've got plenty else on your mind.
More than a little bit, yeah.
Figured.
I thought maybe my fear of the sea would distract me from everything else that I have to think about, but apparently that's not how it works.
I find usually when you get stressed about one thing, all the other things that you're stressed about just come and, well, gang up on you.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So, just let's talk about something else then. I've asked you about your work on ships before, but what about home? Why don't we just talk about something normal?
Okay. Where are your favourite places in Maryville?
Well, understandably, the Opera House. I used to like going to the theatre a lot, but aside from usual haunts, there was this one tavern around the corner from where my shop was, called the Admiral Fell In.
No way.
Huh?
That was just a few streets from my office.
Oh. I used to go there for lunch like 3 times a week, maybe 4.
I always used to go there for dinner.
Gives you a very quizzical look. Huh.
Whenever I was working down at the UCC offices, I wouldn't bother going back to the palace to eat, I'd just stop in there.
Yes. Just really good soup.
Good clientele too. There was down on sort of the southern shore of the city, there was that strip of restaurants that really stuck up, where they give you portions that are like a couple of inches across.
I only ever went there when I was trying to keep up the appearances. It's further along that the sort of middle ground ones are.
Yeah, those really expensive and stupid ones. Always full of stuck up people who wanted my attention. No one paid me any mind at the inn.
No, it was nice though. Atmospheric.
And there was a coffee house just around the corner.
I never went to that place.
I went to that place every single day. Every day that I could. I haven't had coffee in so long.
I mean, perhaps we can pick some up next time we stop in a big city.
It would be nice. So you were avoiding everyone.
Yes. I have a lot on my mind, like I said.
I'm not going to make you talk about it,
Okay, well, thank you.
but you're doing a really, really bad job of making it seem like you've got nothing to talk about.
This may come as a surprise to you, Vanden, but I'm not used to dealing with people whose company I enjoy.
Oh, you actually enjoy our company.
Yes. As shocking as that may sound. It's much easier to avoid people when you don't like them.
I'm glad I came. As much as I'm regretting the boat part.
Don't think that the gravity of you doing this isn't lost on me. I'll find some way to express proper gratitude in time.
You don't have to. It was a foolish idea to separate anyway. I just really hope that wherever we go after this, we don't have to be on the water for a while.
I'm sure we'll figure out the cause in time.
I had help back home dealing with it that I don't have here, and something like jumping in the deep end is a...
Well, we'll see how it goes. You have the three of us.
I just don't want the other sailors to find out how scared I am of what I'm doing.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. We can do our best.
I should go back to the helm, but I'm just gonna say some prayers.
Okay. Well, take your time. I should go do something, I suppose.
You've got to find something to keep yourself busy. We're going to be on this ship for a while.
He sort of scratches at his face a little bit and then just goes, there doesn't happen to be a straight razor in here, right? I should probably shave.
Why?
Because this is the most stubble I've ever had in my life.
So... it suits you. I would kill to have even that much stubble.
You mean you're not shaving?
I have never had to shave in my entire life.
Stares at your skin just like, how smooth.
I have never grown any facial hair.
Huh.
Yeah. Complete baby face. I hate it.
Not entirely baby-faced.
Thank you, I guess.
And thank you, I guess. I'll leave you to it.
Good.
Respectful nod. And off he goes.
Vanden closes the door behind you and just leans against it and is like, it suits you? Don't shave it off. Shut up.
Stupid boy.
It's about the yearning.
The boat sails on. The sea is remarkably smooth considering how fast you're sailing. The waters out here are a bit choppier than they are like closer inland, just for the fact that you're out on open water. But the boat doesn't rock. There's no waves. It just cuts cleanly through the water. And you sail on for the rest of the day. Is there anything in particular anyone's doing through the day?
If there's nothing specific that the crew needs doing, if Cassian's still being distant, Sariel will go to Astra and say, I was wondering if you wanted to start learning Elvish.
Yes, and I can teach you Sylvan.
That's a good idea. Like, maybe I can give you a sentence in Elvish and you tell me what it is in Sylvan.
That sounds really good. We can practice that way, bouncing back and forth. Great.
So they'll just practice pronunciations and...
Yeah, you can find a nice spot in the middle of the ship, sort of not getting in anyone's way, sit on some crates and sit down and just bounce words back and forth in, like, Elvish to Common to Sylvan to Common and back and forth again.
It's a very weird Google Translate situation.
The sailors are walking past like...
It doesn't quite translate each way.
Especially since Sylvan in my head sounds like very wispy Elvish, but more like the sound of like wind going through trees and stuff. Very sort of.
At one point, Marla will walk past and just like correct your pronunciation slightly on something Elvish.
Thank you. Try it again.
They can do this for a couple of hours through the afternoon. If you want to join them at any point, Cassian, you can probably hear them doing this.
Yeah,
the whole ship can probably hear them doing this.
He'll come out at some point and also just be like, no, you're saying that. No, you're saying that.
Yeah, you get a good few hours of practicing and sort of distracted like that. You don't really notice the time out here with no indicator of it until the sun starts to get low in the sky.
Love an ocean sunset.
It's beautiful.
Just reflects back onto the horizon.
When will we see land?
Probably not for a while.
Not for a very long time, Astra. Sort of the point of being out on the open water.
Sarah will sort of call out to whoever's nearest in terms of the crew. Do you know whereabouts we are right now? Like where the nearest land is?
Sam calls down from where he's just heading up to the helm, basically, to swap out with Vanden again. Well, we're just, we're probably about 50 miles off the Watcher's Respite port now. So nearest land is gonna be Starstone.
Okay.
But we probably won't see it. We won't get close enough to see it. Your friend up there, he wants to hang close to Arrakis, which will probably be the first land we see in maybe another day or so.
Okay. Never been to Arrakis.
No.
No.
This is probably short of sailing over to Aspeya, probably the widest stretch of ocean I ever crossed back and forth without seeing land. I know it can be a bit unnerving.
It's the first time I've been on a travel like this.
You'll get used to it.
Maybe.
Just gotta keep ourselves busy.
I'll say to you in Sylvan to see if you understand. Yes, keeping ourselves very busy by doing languages, I suppose.
Sariel will make an intelligence check. At advantage, because you've had 2 teachers all day.
¿Dónde está la biblioteca?
16.
16. You get the gist of what he's trying to say.
Keeping busy with languages?
Yes.
Okay. Starting to get in.
The cook will be serving up some dinner soon. Probably about the time the sun's fully set. We normally eat up here on deck, so if you want to help with that, you can.
Okay. I can definitely try.
It's another chance to learn a new skill.
Always so eager, Astra.
Do you have a lot of... Is it just a case of having rations for the journey, or do you fish, or...
Fresh food doesn't keep that well. We don't really have the storage for it. We got a lot of dry food. And fruit and stuff like that. But no, we don't really get a chance to fish on a journey like this.
Okay. Thinks about going fishing tomorrow.
Astra will bumble on off to the kitchen.
Right, well, I best relieve your friend. Off he heads up, and sort of you see him sort of nudge Vanden out of the way and take the helm and tell him to go and rest. After he's been stood there for like maybe 6 hours now. He comes down and he's like,
You're doing great.
Thanks. I mean, this is smooth sailing so far. I just have to try not to think about anything that might be in the water.
That's B. I hate the water.
Implying that there are things in the water, aside from the fish.
Yes.
What things do you mean?
Surely you've heard tales of sea monsters and the like.
Some, yes.
Didn't really have them where I came from, but I can imagine.
Maybe while we're eating, I'll tell you some of the stories.
Oh, please do.
Wouldn't say they're the root cause of my hatred of the ocean, but they definitely don't help. After about another half hour or so of the sun setting, lighting up the sky in sort of beautiful swathes of orange and pink and gold, the last rays of light sort of disappear over the horizon line, and the crew light up a bunch of lamps sort of hanging off the various masts and things like that. It's not bright light, but it's enough. And Astra, you can help the cook in the kitchen. Helping. Bring up, like, it's not massively exciting food, but it's nicely spiced. They can pick up spices from Arrakis and such on these sort of journeys, and you got like spicy rice and like fried fruit.
Ooh.
And we can bring it all up, and because you've just left port, there's some meat to go with it and stuff. The deck here is like, the boat's 120 foot, the deck is probably 30 foot across on its own, and they can bring up a long table and everyone grabs a barrel and sort of pulls it over to eat communally. Lay all these different sailors' delicacies out along the table, and the rest of the crew kind of take their seats at one end. Try not to bother you too much, except Marlowe, who sits right down at the head of the table where you guys are going to sit. And like, enjoyed your first day?
It's been really interesting.
Enough.
Certainly a different experience.
So not too uncomfortable?
You'll find out here.
No, not too uncomfortable. I heard you saying something about sea horror stories. We got more than a few.
Oh yes, Vanden has a few to share with us.
Horror stories?
Monsters.
They're not... I guess they are horror stories, but just stories about the ocean. I mean, it's a huge and terrifying place.
Fairy tales of the sea.
You can get monsters anywhere, Astra.
We had a nervous glance towards the edge of the boat now, like, good! That's the best news all day!
Okay, I suppose I'll go first. There was an ECC ship in like 1613, I think, so quite a long time ago. It's called the Chesterfield, and it was found off the coast of Vishima, which it wasn't sailing to, but it was found aimlessly floating along. It had taken a crew of 20, I think, and it had disappeared from up near Riven a couple of weeks earlier, found down near Vishima, and when it was discovered, not a single member of the crew was still there.
Where were they?
No idea.
Ghost ship.
Didn't seem to be any signs of anyone boarding the ship. The ship wasn't damaged. They had weeks of supplies and weapons. Food was left out on plates. No signs of foul play whatsoever. The only thing that was missing was the small wooden lifeboat from the back. Seemed to be still carrying its expensive cargo, so it's not like they were stopped by pirates. Just everyone vanished.
Maybe they had to abandon ship for some reason?
Out in the open ocean on a small dinghy on a perfectly good condition ship. None of them have ever been found. More than 100 years and still a mystery.
Very peculiar.
Marlowe leans back and is like, that reminds me of the stories of the carnivorous seaweed.
No, this I have to hear. Go on.
In the, the Oberonic Sea, like between Marlborough and Briny Run, there was stories for years of carnivorous seaweed that was responsible for ship crews just disappearing or turning up mauled. There was like a number of empty fishing vessels found up there with dead crew members sometimes, or people just disappeared. Although there wasn't no damage thing. The ships were wrecked. And people said that the seaweed itself was eating them.
So it just climbed up onto their boats and started eating people?
Yes.
Huh. How novel.
And Sam, leaning down from the other end of the table, is like, what about the night flower? You know that story, right?
Oh, there's
About
more.
20 years ago, I think 17, 20 maybe, Captain Shul, he gave a report of enormous sea serpent they saw under the ship. In like dark brown color, yellow and white around its throat, no fins. Like a mane, like a horse on its back, although seemed to be made of seaweed. And he said it was swimming under their ship the whole way across the ocean to Ospea. This huge dark shape,
So like a shadow?
but like a monster.
But like he could have just been a shadow.
I mean, I guess, what kind of shadow has a mane?
I don't know.
But it didn't do anything to them, it just
No.
followed them?
Followed them, dove back down into the depths.
I mean, isn't there supposed to be that sort of spooky area between here and Ospea?
You see Vanden pale a little bit more. Dagon's Triangle.
That's the one.
What? Yes, actually. Dagon's Triangle. It's a stretch of water. It goes from the Isle of Glass to the Leviathan Archipelago, which is near Starstone, all the way to Ospea. And it's a stretch of water with countless bizarre and terrifying stories as to what happens within it.
Haunted by the devil of the sea.
We're not going there though, right?
No, I'm taking a specific course to avoid it, actually.
Great. Because that sounds like awful.
Yeah, I mean, there's stories of ghost ships and a huge titan that walks around in the ocean and destroys ships. Sea monsters, fiends. I've been in it once.
The triangle?
How was it?
I was sailing for Arrakis, and as it is, we tend to sail. We hug the coast towards Arrakis to avoid it, and I blacked out. And when I came round, we were floating in Dagon's Triangle. There were two other ships, one of which was on fire, and there were a dozen bodies on our deck. One right in front of me ran through with my sword. None of the other crew could explain. Not that there were many of us left.
They all blacked out too.
They said that it's like we were just sailing on course, and the next moment we were sailing through the waters of Dagon's Triangle. So I'm going to be avoiding it. Even if that bearing takes us a little dangerously close to Maryville.
I'm beginning to understand your opinion on the ocean.
Well, it's like, well, we do know a couple of sea shanties about Dagon's Triangle.
Let's just sing about the thing that someone told us he woke up stabbing someone with. Okay.
No, come on, we'll lighten the mood.
Okay.
He sort of bangs his fist on the table and gets the crew singing again to sort of lift the atmosphere after the ghost story. I don't know, I might turn in early. Try and sleep through the night, because it's one thing being on the ocean when I can see properly, it's another thing when it's dark.
Do you want some assistance with it?
With sleeping.
Well, yes, if you can't sleep through properly.
No, I'll be fine.
Okay, let me know if you do though.
Yeah.
Even just to calm down a bit.
We're all here if you need company.
I'll probably just keep translating that book on the Covenant of Twilight.
Yeah, keep your mind busy.
Even more interested than I was before now.
Strange history.
Mm.
Before we all go our, well, we can't go our separate ways for the evening, but before you go your separate way, I have a favour to ask all of you. And Cassian will just pull out his spellbook and dump it down on the table.
Soggy.
See, Marlo just leans over and is like, why is that book wet?
It's not. It just looks wet, apparently.
It's a charm, I think.
Huh.
I wish I knew. He flicks through, lands on the page that he found earlier. Right. I need you all to sign your names in here. And I'm not asking you to make some weird contract with me or anything, but if I have your names, I
You
will...
can contact us.
Yes. How do you know that?
Oh, I have a friend back home who has something similar.
Interesting. But yes, if you write your names down, I'll always be able to get in contact with you.
Okay, I like that.
Then sign first.
Okay. Verdant, Astra.
I can imagine Astra's signature is really like twirly and picturesque.
Very much practiced.
Mhm.
Yeah. And just passes it around to the three of you.
Yeah, Sarah will sign her name.
Vanden too.
And he's just gonna practice once, just to check that it works, because he hasn't done this before. He gets his pen, looks between you, lands on Sariel, and just writes, "Hello, Sariel, it's Cassian. Can you hear me?"
Yes, how are you doing that?
And on the page,
It appears on your page. Yes, how are you doing that?
interesting.
That's really fun.
And how far away can we be for you to do that? Like, what's the limit?
It is essentially the spell that Astra can cast.
To send messages.
Yes,
So it can be any distance.
any distance. Indefinitely.
That's clever. And useful.
Luckily, it doesn't really cost me anything to do it. I just have to have this on my person.
Well, I've never seen you without it.
No. I'll strap it back on his belt. Thank you.
Did it sound like Cassian in your head?
Strange.
I'll try not to wake you up in the middle of the night or something then.
No, it's fine. It was just... You wrote it down, so I was just wondering what accent your writing had, but if it sounds like you, then I suppose it's just...
It's like when you text an answering machine and it's like, "Hello, Mum and Dad. I am at shops. Do you want anything?"
100%.
Yeah. Reads it out like the Alexa.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Cassian and his magical Alexa.
I just wonder if your writing has an accent.
New notification from Amazon shopping.
For Cassian.
Hello, Astra. Does it sound like me?
Yes.
Does it come out in what Astra's handwriting would look like?
I suppose it probably does.
Hell yeah.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
That's my writing.
And that's mine.
And then after a minute it'll just fade away.
Clever.
Useful.
I really like that.
It's a good book.
By the way, I wanted to let you know that I have a cabin up here, and the three of you are more than welcome to stay in it with me if you don't want to sleep below deck.
Please.
Only if that's okay. Is there windows?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes, I mean we share rooms all the time.
It's
I didn't want to have this a whole cabin to myself.
it's the captain's cabin.
Now it's the camping cabin.
We should go get stuff from down below then.
Sarah looks very relieved just to like not have to sleep under deck.
Yeah, Vanden will show you into the captain's quarters, and whilst there's only the one double bed, it is like a vast space.
Mhm.
There's probably like a something akin to a couch as well, like a sort of cushioned bench, and a huge floor space. And he's like, I figured you might not want to be underground.
Thank you.
This is very nice in here.
We've still got our bedrolls and stuff from camping,
Yeah.
so it's fine. We can make a little nest.
Yeah, it's nice.
It is
Not the
nice.
nicest I've been on, but it's cozy.
What's the nicest you've been on?
My father's ship, I suppose.
Did that one have a name?
The Pearl of Maryville.
I can imagine that has a very fancy captain's cabin.
Yeah, I mean, it's at least twice the size of this ship. And he was pompous, so it was obviously overly ornate and opulent.
Was it all inlaid like Astra's horns?
Absolutely. Gold, pearl.
But it had everything, like a full bathroom and a gazebo.
Hardly functional as a ship at all, more just like a glorified party boat.
Well, that's the thing. It was a warship, but he didn't sail it anywhere.
It was just for show.
It just sat in the harbour in Marytown most of the time, unless he actually had to take any sort of political visit, which was a lot less frequent in the last sort of decade. So it just sat there, looking over the top, flying his colours all the time.
Seems a bit of a waste.
I like this one though.
This one's nice. This is about the size of the original Lyra bed.
The original one.
My ship. Back in Marytown.
Does everyone in Marytale have boats?
No, but my family owned the ECC.
His whole thing is trade via ships.
Right.
You saw the flag of Watcher's Respite, the Kelpie with the crossed swords. That's the East Caldera Company. It's my father's business.
Oh, okay.
Largest trade company in the world.
Okay.
And so we have a fleet of ships, 100 strong, that sail all over Caldera and to Ospea.
Well, I do have a lot of questions about the ship, so at least you can tell me about them. What's a knot?
A knot,
Yes.
as in on a rope, or as in speed?
Travel.
Oh, it's a measurement of speed for a ship at sea.
Astra will just start plying with questions about why is it called a knot though? That doesn't make sense. Like, and just go through all of his questions he's had piling up about boats since they've been on this one. Just like none of this makes sense.
Kind of just diligently sits there and answers every single question with historical context.
While Astra is distracted, Cassian steals the sofa.
If there's anything else you're doing for the evening, otherwise
Sleep.
sleep. I'd say Sariel could probably put a little bit of time into working on some potions.
Yes, potions, please.
I will do my bag business with my little pouch. Just
Sort of in a corner.
fill out my journal. As Astra does every single night and always has done. Just journals, bag business. Puts out his little bed rest and just curls up. Tail wrapped around his little self.
And then takes the double bed and yes.
Yes.
Damn him.
And you have a actually very, very peaceful night, because sleeping on the ocean is incredibly relaxing. And you wake with the dawn. When you do, you notice Vanden's already out of bed. He's gone back up to the helm. But you wake up, find yourselves relatively comfortable. See the light pouring in through the window, and you can get dressed, head on out to the deck. And you see a few of the crew members like leaning over the side, as you do.
Is there a big shadow?
No big shadow. There's dolphins.
Sorry, we'll run to the side.
Moran like gestures you over and points out you can see several dolphin fins like bobbing in and out of the water alongside the ship. Wind's kind of flat today, so we might be a bit slow, but
That's okay. Cassian? Do you want to go swimming?
Yes.
If there's nothing else that needs doing.
no, I mean, Look at the wake behind us, and you can see that compared to yesterday, it's just like really slow. In fact, the ocean's very, very flat today, like strangely still.
Like right now.
Right now, if you
Right
want
now.
to.
Okay, he just immediately starts stripping.
You see the crew just like, okay.
He's down to his underpants.
Sariel thinks for a moment, looks at the equipment that's available on the deck, goes to find an empty barrel
Yeah.
and a rope that's not being used.
Yeah, you definitely can.
Can I borrow these?
Sure thing, go for it.
Okay. She'll tie the rope to the barrel and then go to the edge and tie the other end of the rope to the edge of the ship, throw the barrel off the ship,
Nice.
study the dolphins for a bit if they're like following alongside the
Yeah,
ship.
they are. They're bobbing in and out of the water all around the ship.
She's gonna take off like the majority of her like gear, put it on the side, like out of the way, take off her shoes, stand on the edge of the ship, jump off it, and turn into a dolphin.
Sariel climbs up onto the edge of the ship, stripped down to like undershirt and breeches, and just dives, turns into a dolphin mid-air, and lands in the water like that.
Oh,
A
yeah.
white dolphin. You see the sailors like, whoa! Oh, and Marlo's like, I don't want to be outdone. Just gonna run and dive off the edge of the ship.
Cassian gracefully does the same thing that he did on the tower where he stands and goes backwards.
You dive into the water. It's freezing.
Yes.
Freezing cold. But under the surface, like opening your eyes as a dolphin, you can see all these other dolphins bobbing along, and various schools of fish like darting around under the water. Astra back on the deck. You can see Vanden just like, oh god.
Calm emotions.
Thank you.
It's okay.
They're in the sea. They're in the sea.
I think they'll be fine. Cassian's a strong singer. Cassian's a strong swimmer anyway, and Sariel's a dolphin.
I'm sure they'll be fine. Okay. Eyes on the horizon.
Why don't you tell me more about that book that you were reading last night?
Oh, the Covenant book.
Take your mind off things.
Okay, I can tell you a little bit. They seem to be a collective of drow and dwarves from the Underdark who were fighting back against some sort of oppressive mages of some kind, sort of before they came to the surface. Worshippers of Lolth.
That's the name we kept seeing in Elathra.
She's one of the darker gods. There are deities out there who want bad things. Chaos and destruction.
Astra seems to consider what you've said and just like looks very like, doesn't sound like it should be right.
Yeah. But I don't know enough about gods to dispute it.
So this Lolth person is a not very nice god?
Yes. As far as I understand it, I don't know much about her, but from what I've been able to translate, it seems to be the goddess of lies and deception and spiders.
Oh, I like spiders. They're not bad.
No, but I guess evil spiders. There's also a god of darkness and one of chaos, I think, as far as I've been able to translate.
I don't like that.
Up here we have gods of war and destruction, gods of death, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Well, no, death isn't a bad thing.
We have a goddess of greed,
Why?
because people,
It's part of a natural thing that people are.
when people want things like that, they still want to worship for it. Still want to pray for it. Speaking of, I have prayers to say to Alexandra.
Okay. I'll leave you to that.
Goddess of safe travel.
Looks brighter that you explained. Because he's heard this name before and has seen you pray, but it's just like, great.
Has also just heard him say there's a bunch of bad gods as well.
Yep.
She is the goddess of good fortune and change and safe travel.
Well, she sounds nice then.
She is. Hopefully she'll keep them safe in the ocean.
Oh, we good.
We're having a great time.
these two
We
down
good out here.
splashing around in the ocean,
Yeah.
Playing with the dolphins. Like, Sariel will like come up between you and Marlowe, like holding her fins out, and we'll just zoom through the water.
Like at one point, Cassian will ask if it's alright if he like tries to surf on you with like a hand on the dorsal fin, and then just
We'll try and make it work.
Make a dex check.
me.
An athletics check.
For dolphin.
For standing on a dolphin.
Athletics. Ah, plus nothing. Cocked. 9.
9. Okay. You find that the getting sort of more upright isn't too hard. And I've done this, so I know that it's not. But you sort of letting Sariel push you upwards rather than you trying to balance upright. But you can't stay up like that for more than a few seconds. And before you know, Sariel's taking off and leaving you like on your back in the water behind her.
I meant to do that. And it just vibes.
That was really good.
What? Okay.
Also, in the meantime, Sariel will catch fish
Mm-hmm.
and put them in the barrel that she's thrown off the side,
Nice.
so they can pull it up.
Hell yeah. Nice. Roll me 2 d20s.
Ooh! One is a 10, one is a 15.
15. Okay, you can catch 15 fish.
Yay! Dinner.
Dinner.
You see the crew look pretty, well, they're impressed as it is that you can turn it into a dolphin, but very, very delighted that there's going to be fish for supper. You can swim like that for maybe an hour or so. Then use the line that you've tied the barrel onto to like
Climb back up.
climb back up again afterwards and dry out in the sun. With the salt sort of crusting over your hair and your skin.
That was fun.
I like that a lot. If we have another slow day, we should do it again.
Perfect.
I've missed swimming in the ocean.
Don't think I've ever swum in open ocean like this.
I can't say I've done it far out like this, but it's nice.
And no monsters.
And no monsters. Really, anything in the water should be more afraid of you than you should of it.
She bares her teeth.
Exactly.
Sam walks past and is like, no monsters, but we might have a storm coming up.
Oh?
Oh, really? But it's so calm.
You heard the phrase calm before, right?
I suppose.
And he starts climbing up to the helm deck. Up to Vanden, and you see them talking quietly. And then Sam, like, pointing up towards the southern sky. And you don't see it for a while. You kind of look up a few times. And as you move further that way, you can see black clouds. They're thick across the sky. So much so that it almost looks like when you're looking down towards the southern horizon, it's getting dark down there. You see them exchange a few words out of your hearing range and nod and agree something between them and keep sailing on. Pull the sails in a little tighter, get the boat moving a little faster again. Then a few minutes later you hear a distant roll of thunder.
Wow.
Suppose one is chasing after us then.
What's a storm on a ship like? It's usually like that kind of weather, but
From my understanding, bad.
good to know.
Prepare to get wet.
Marla comes up and it doesn't have to be bad. If we can avoid it, it's quite beautiful. But it's probably in for a rocky ride if it hits us.
Is it taking us far off course if we're trying to avoid it?
Not yet, but We're waiting for your friend up there to make a call on what we're going to do.
Okay.
Could be that he just passes. We've got a few miles yet.
Go and talk to him. And go up to the helm.
Mm-hmm.
How are you doing?
Okay. I'm just trying to make a decision.
What's the choices here?
Well, the storm is in the southwest. And we're due southwest if we're going to stay on the course that I wanted to charter. But if it gets any worse, we don't want to be caught in a big one like that.
Well, we can only avoid it for as long as we can, I suppose. Maybe it'll pass us by.
Maybe. The problem is a ship like this, you don't have much choice last minute to change your mind. We move too slow for something like that. This isn't the time of year you normally get big storms, but
You can never tell with nature, though.
I suppose not.
Is there anything we can do to help you out?
Just keep an eye on it. I'm gonna go up to the crow's nest.
Okay.
As you pass Astra, you'll just feel like a little bit of a boost as Astra sort of pats you on your shoulder as you pass. He's unintentionally cast guidance on you, so
He doesn't know anything about it, huh? You cast guidance, and just sort of shrugs it off, gives you a slightly strange look, and says, "If Sam asks, just stay the course for now, until I'm back down."
Okay.
Be careful.
You see he heads over to the rigging and sort of takes a deep breath and scurries up it to the top.
With a D4.
With a D4. You want me to roll for it?
No, because you might fall.
Okay. With the guidance, he scurries easily to the top, into the crow's nest. You see him pull out the telescope, extend it, and take a look, watching the horizon for a while. Then look back down at Sam, and you see the two of them communicate somewhat in a few hand gestures of what they're saying to each other that mean nothing to any of you. But it's not hard to see that the sky is getting darker. Where the thunder was coming maybe 10 minutes apart before it starts rolling in louder. 5 minutes. 4 minutes. Eventually, you see Vanden swing out of the crow's nest and climb back down. He looks a little more haggard and concerned than he did when he climbed up there. And he doesn't say anything to the three of you, he just passes by straight up to the helm. You do hear him turn to Sam and say, "I'm going to have to make the call. We're going to have to turn east. Head inside the archipelago." Sam's like, "I think it's the right one. Get the ship ready to go about." He takes the helm again, and Sam hurries past the three of you the other way and starts giving orders to the crew. You see them start taking sails and changing the direction that they're pointing in, and the ship starts to turn slowly away from your course south, directly east.
Stay the hell out of the way of everyone moving. Just
And it like gestures the three of you up to the helm deck.
Everything all right?
It's just, it's coming in faster than, well, pretty much any storm I've seen this side of the continent. We don't want to be caught in it. So, there is an opening. There's an archipelago of islands between here and Starstone and Cassian, with shallow waters that are dangerous for the boat. But if we turn now, there's a slightly deeper opening that we should be okay to get through.
Okay.
It's probably going to add another 2 days to our trip.
That's okay.
But if the storm's that way, I don't want to be that way at all.
No.
That's fine.
Nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about.
And you don't need to worry about food, considering Sariel already helped with that.
Yes, that was great, thank you.
It's okay. There are plenty more. There's plenty more fish in the sea.
Very funny. And still, see, he looks very nervous all the same.
Do you want me to help calm down?
No, it's just that if we take this route, we will be passing through Dagon's Triangle. It's stupid and it's superstitious, and I should stop paying attention to silly stories.
We'll be fine.
We're all together, that's what matters.
We can handle everything.
We killed an aboleth the other day.
We did.
I don't exactly have much power out here, but I have some affinity for this place. I'll do everything I can to keep everyone safe.
Yes. And it's fine that the storm's still miles off and we've got time. I just don't want anything to happen to the three of you.
I'll think of it like this. If you pray to Alexandra, then this is the path that she wants you to take to avoid that storm, to be the safer one.
It's a nice way to think of it. You sail on. There's a tension across the ship as it turns east. The sailors are quiet and everybody is on it with their jobs, paying little attention to much else. After a couple of hours, you see, for the first time in over a day, the slight shape of land on the horizon line, where you're now headed directly east. You can see the sort of greyed out and faint shapes of several relatively small islands, and they sort of snake almost like a coastline all the way across the horizon.
Oh, the archipelago.
It too has its own story.
Go on.
Supposedly it's the body of a leviathan, although as I understand it, there's more proof that there was a underwater volcano in the area.
Oh.
And several thousands of years ago it pushed all the land masses up, so the water's shallow. We've just got to hope that it is deep enough for this ship to pass through.
It will be.
It's fine. At least there's somewhere on the other side that we can make port if needs be.
Is it easier to go to that place and drop anchor and then come back to this way?
It depends what the storm does. Not feeling particularly confident about the fact that it seems to be moving east towards us.
Huh. Oh well. Chins up.
Yes. You sail on, and this land gets closer and closer. It seems so far away at first, but within an hour you're upon it. You can see these small and mostly barren islands of arid land, not much greenery on them, jutting up out of the water. And where you're aiming, there's one larger one to the left of you, and then like a string of small ones all close together, all with small gaps between them. As you get closer, you can see that the water here is lighter in colour, so the water is much, much shallower. And the crew keep taking the boat sort of like very gently snaking through the darker water to try and avoid running aground. Other side of those islands, we should be fine.
Does it look like the storm is still chasing us?
It's definitely like behind you, the sky is just black. Like it's a huge storm taking up the whole coastline.
This is starting to get dark overhead as well, like over us.
Not quite yet, but you can see it's probably where it was like maybe 10 miles off before. The dark sky is maybe only 5 miles behind you now.
Okay. Commodore,
Cassian,
permission to cast.
what are you casting?
Just a little failsafe in case anyone does go overboard.
Fine, I trust you.
Then, because I can get... You said there were 8 crew?
Yes.
So that's 12 with us.
Yes.
I can cast this on 10 people. I'm fine. You can turn into things that swim. So on everyone except Cassian and Sariel. Cassian will use his 1-day use of water breathing.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Up to 10 willing creatures I can see within range have the ability to breathe underwater until the spell ends. They also retain their normal mode of respiration. It lasts for a whole day.
It's not concentration or anything, it just is.
It just
It
is.
just is.
It just is.
Okay. You reach out and you cast it. And the crew sort of momentarily, you have their attention as this spell sort of settles over them. Everyone feels the sway of magic. But Marlowe seems to recognise what you've done and just like nods his head towards you.
He inclines his head back.
Then it's like,
It'll help if...
I know. Appreciated. Okay. Now just to navigate through these islands. I am going to make a navigation check.
Ooh! A map man.
Oh, map man.
Navigate us, map man.
Boat man.
Christ.
Oh no!
Oh no.
As you move in towards the gap between the large island and the smaller ones, you see the water around you starting to get choppier.
Mm.
It's picking up and the wind is picking up as well. Whereas before it was just filling the sails, now it's starting to howl a little. You can hear it. And it's pushing the boat very slightly off course. And you see Vanden shouting orders down to the crew to move the sails and like holding the helm steady, trying to keep it. But you do feel something bump against the bottom of the boat.
Mm-hmm.
He jams the helm to the side and turns the ship basically against the wind momentarily, so it just drifts and isn't pushed any further. It's like, this is getting bad. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Okay. Make another navigation check.
Please be
Making
better.
myself do these checks. Ah, a crit.
Oh,
Nice.
blessed.
Okay, that's a 23.
Nice.
Before long, he's able to put it back on course, pull the sails the other way, and you pull off the shore where the boat was threatening to just get completely grounded and back into the deep water. And you start moving between the islands. As you do, you start to hear faint singing
Oh
Oh
good.
no.
coming
Oh, good.
from the water.
Oh good.
Oh good.
It's just sort of echoes around you. You see some of the sailors tense up slightly.
Are the people overboard? In this area? Like, more sea elves? Like,
I don't think so. Everyone have your wits about you. You see more dolphins. Hopping and weaving in and out of the water. And still this singing starts to pick up slightly as you fall into the shadow of the larger island.
Coming from where the dolphins are, or?
It's coming from around you. Make a perception check.
8.
8. It's hard to tell, seems to be coming from under the water. But no particular direction.
it's very pretty. Are these like singing hills or something? Singing water?
No. This is something different.
What can we do?
Sam glances over the edge of the boat, frowns, and you perceive. Frowns, looking down. You see his eyes widen slightly and he backs away from the edge. So he's like, "Men, into the middle of the ship." And you see some of the crew sort of put their hands up and back away from what they were doing into the centre of the ship. Have you heard of sirens?
No.
A little bit.
Also a little bit.
Creatures of the ocean that can lure you into the water with their song.
Stay away from the edges then, I guess.
Something, once again, bumps gently against the underneath of the boat. This time you see Van look up and over it. We're not in shallow water.
I Astra's going to start playing his music,
Okay.
and a completely different melody to what there is coming in from over the ship. And as he's doing that, Counter Charm is going to be
Okay.
playing.
Nice.
Nice. Counter Charm gives advantage against
Yes.
Charm and.
Frightened.
Okay.
Dope.
Okay. Astra's music fills the air, almost drowns out the song from the ocean. Sees when the sails start to relax slightly. Something once again bumps the underneath of the ship. And then, maybe a perception check.
Oh my god! 8 again.
6.
4. I'm playing.
Then you see Vanden stare down from the helm at the deck. Say, "We have company!" And you see him gesture down, and when he does, you can see it too, wet footprints from something invisible moving across the deck.
Oh.
No.
As soon as he shouts it out, there's suddenly, from the centre of the ship outwards, an explosion of fog which covers the entire deck. I would like you to roll initiative.
Oh shit.
Astra,
11.
11. Cassian,
8.
Oh boy.
Wow.
Sariel.
9.
Oh boy!
Vanden points out these wet footprints moving across the deck, but it's too late.
Uh-oh.
Suddenly, you hear something clawing its way up the side of the ship. In between you and the crew, one on each side,
Oh no.
you see 2 green fish-faced men carrying tridents,
Ew.
clawing their way up onto the ship's deck. They screech something out in a language that none of you understand. One is going to move straight towards Sariel, and the other's going to move straight towards Astra. You guys are just outside of the fog cloud. It's enshrouded all of the rest of the crew. The first one, on Sariel, is going to try and lean forward with its nasty, nasty, slimy teeth
Ugh.
and take a bite out of you. That's a 13 to hit.
No, does not hit.
It does not hit.
Does not hit!
In which case, in anger, it's going to try and jab you with its trident. First one fails. Last one does hit. You're going to take 14 points of piercing damage
Oh boy, okay.
as this thing just swings its trident back. You manage to use the staff to deflect off the first blow, then it swings it around again and just jabs it into your side. You hear Sariel let out a noise of pain as the other one moves towards Astra and tries to do the same. Bite. That's under 10. Trident 1. That's going to hit. 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And then it swings the trident a second time. That's not going to hit. It jabs it in and can't yank it out enough to hit you with it again. You hear movement inside the fog cloud. One of the sailors lets out a scream of pain.
Oh no.
The other one you hear another yell that doesn't sound like it's of pain, just of fear. And you still can't see what's going on. The wind is just wisping on the edges of this cloud of fog, starting to push it away, but it's still there. Astra, you're up.
Oh my god, okay. I'm gonna have to use my action to keep playing to do Counter Charm.
Okay.
I'll use my bonus action to Mantle of Inspiration. 8 temporary hit points to Vanden, Cassian and Sariel.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then that's all I can do on my action. Underneath his hair, the little draconic face peeps out and immediately sees the creature in front of him, turns invisible. So
Okay.
Bramble pops out and is going to try and Euphoria Breath the guy in front of us. Can it make it a DC 13 charisma save for me?
Ooh. I don't know, can it? Enemy dice, enemy dice.
DC 11 wisdom save, sorry.
11, it hits it.
Oh, that's fine.
Astra is still strumming away at this music. Everyone feels a little buffed by it. Sariel, you're up.
Okay. So as we're in the fog cloud, like, is it sort of disadvantage to hit?
You guys are not quite in the fog cloud.
Okay.
So all of the sailors have disappeared into the fog.
Right. Interesting. You know what? Then she'll extend her claws and try and slash at it to primal savagery it.
Nice.
Giddy.
Who's gonna not betray me? Ooh, 24 to hit.
24 hits.
Nice.
It'll take 2d10s of acid damage. That's 11.
11. Nice. Okay, you hear it let out another inhuman shriek in this strange language as you slash across its chest, splits like fish skin. Are you doing anything else?
I don't believe I can. No, I cannot.
Okay, Cassian.
How dark is it right now?
Say the storm's still a few miles behind you, so it's still daylight.
Still daylight, okay. Any shadows in the area will suck into Cassian and start to wreath his body like black flame.
Ooh.
He pulls out from his pocket this now diamond encrusted undead eyeball that he got in Valathra
Nice.
and casts Shadow of Moil upon himself.
Hell yeah.
So within 10 feet of him, what was daylight has now become dim shadowed light. And he's heavily obscured.
Hell yeah. That's right.
Has resistance to radiant damage. I am concentrating. And that's his action. And he's going to use his movement just to run out of the opportunity attack range of both of these fellows.
Nice. That runs into the fog cloud.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do they get opportunity attacks against you or no?
If they'd like to.
So yeah, at disadvantage, they're both going to try and take opportunity attacks against you. That first one's a natural 20, so that's disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
So it's still a 22.
That's fine.
As it tries to bite you. The first one sees you casting a spell and starting to move and just lunges forward, sinks its teeth into you, and you are going to take 10 points of piercing damage.
He takes 9 points of necrotic damage as these flames just strike back at him.
Is that another?
How much was that, sorry?
10 points.
10 points.
She needs to do a
I
con.
will make a con check.
Please.
That's plus 3. 15.
15. Okay, the other one is going to stab towards you with its trident. That's double 19s!
Oh!
That's fine.
So you're going to take another 10 points of piercing damage.
4 points of necrotic damage as the flames wreath out on the other side.
Okay.
And
Hell yeah.
I'm fine.
Okay. These flames extend out from Cassian as these two creatures strike and just strike back at them, and you hear their shrieks of pain. Vanden's turn. Vanden's got both hands on the wheel, and he's just going to shout out down to Sariel, "I've got to keep controlling this thing, do what you can!" And use Commander Strike. You can make a melee attack, which I would say includes primal savagery because you already have it up.
Okay. Yeah, she'll do that then. She'll try and slash at this thing again.
Okay.
Give. 12 to hit.
12 does not hit him.
Yeah.
That thing just sees your claws swiping and just deflects it off with the metal of the trident. Yeah, that takes Vanden's turn if he's not attacking. He's got to keep his hands on the wheel and try and keep the ship steady. So back to the top of the round. The two creatures.
Hello.
The one that Sariel's just tried to primal savagery seems to fixate itself on her. You see its black eyes start to go red.
Ew.
And its mouth open wider with these sharp, jagged teeth as it goes into a blood frenzy.
Absolutely not.
You don't have all your hit points, so it has advantage against you.
Oh, good.
Oh, that's cruel.
21?
Yeah.
First attack is going to be 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Next attack is a 16.
She will use shield.
Nice. You throw up your shield and deflect off its claws as they swing out towards your side.
Mm-hmm.
Still tries to take its third attack with shield up. What's your AC?
19.
19. Oh, that's a natural 20, I'm afraid.
Ooh. Oh no.
Okay. That's going to be 14 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
That's the first one. Astra. The other one you see doing the same.
Something like that.
Bramble breathes out and it manages to dodge out of the way. Its eyes just start to turn red as it goes into a blood fury. Blood frenzy. It's going to try and bite you first. That's 19.
Yep.
14 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And try and take 2 swipes with its claws. 16.
Hit.
The second one is 15.
Hit.
24 points of slashing damage.
Ooh, okay.
Cassian, you hear this clearer inside the fog cloud.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear more creatures moving around.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. You hear one of the sailors start to scream and then just and go silent.
No!
And another one lets out a sort of wail of fear and you hear something being pushed aside. And 2 of the sailors will emerge out of the fog cloud towards the other end of the boat, saying, "There's something in the fog, stay out of the fog!" Astra, your turn.
As he's playing, he's going to use a bonus action
Mm-hmm.
and what looks like dappled sunlight through the trees sort of encases around him.
Mm-hmm.
As the Shield of Faith just takes around himself, giving him a +2 to AC.
Nice.
And he just starts trying to back up away from this creature. He knows it's going to take an opportunity, but hopefully now with a 17 AC. Or 16. Up towards where Vanden is.
Yep. That is a 15.
Doesn't hit. Great. And still continuing to use his action to give people advantage on saving throws for threatened or charmed,
Nice.
just in case people need it. Bramble is going to see if he gets his euphoria back. He does!
Hey!
So he is going to try and breathe on this creature again. If it can
Nice.
make me a DC 11 whiz save, please.
That is a 10.
Amazing!
Yes!
Let's see
What's he going to do?
the target doesn't move.
Nice!
The only thing it can do is make the wisdom saving throw at the end of its turn,
Nice.
ending on a success.
So you see the big fish-like creature in front of you just freeze up in Bramble's euphoria breath. Trident sort of hanging loose in one hand. Sariel.
She's gonna hold her new staff up to the sky and pull down a moonbeam on this bastardo.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
3rd level. Can it make a con save, please?
Let's see. That's a 15.
Damn, it makes it, but it'll take half damage. On 3d10s of radiant damage.
Nice.
Okay, so 12, 17. So half of 17 would be 8.
Nice. Okay.
And
Sariel pulls down a moonbeam. This brilliant sort of pillar of white light comes down directly on top of this creature, and you see its skin like frying slightly in the radiant light.
Lovely.
Cassian.
Is your moonbeam just on the creature, or is it taking up like a little bit of an area?
It's a 5-foot cylinder, so it's just on the creature.
So it's just on the creature.
Well, no, it centers on the crosshair.
Okay.
So it's 4 squares.
It's 4
Okay.
squares.
Okay, so and I'm in the fog cloud now.
Yes.
You did just hear people yelling, "Get out!"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I wanted to go back that way, but now I can't because No, I have resistance to radiant damage at the moment. Yeah, I'll like run sort of through and over where I'm not in the fog cloud anymore.
Yeah.
I guess I will take moonbeam damage, and also that thing will get another opportunity attack at me if it wants.
I guess you need to make a con save then against Moonbeam.
Yeah.
Sure.
Please succeed.
It's an 8.
No, son, you get 3d10 radiant damage. Fool.
Yeah, but I take half.
13 halved is 7. 6.
6. Cool.
Do you round up or do you round down?
Round
I
down.
feel like we've done both.
You round
Random,
down.
always.
And then... Yeah, Shadow of Moil's still up.
Nice.
Cool. So yeah, that thing will get another opportunity attack at me if it wants to take it.
It will have to take a disadvantage, so it cannot see in the fog cloud. Christ. It's a dirty 20.
Ooh,
It's fine.
naughty.
It takes 10 points of necrotic damage.
And you take 11 points of piercing. However, it's starting to look rough from all of this necrotic and radiant damage
Yeah.
hammering on it.
Shadow of Moil is still up. 11, did you say?
Yes.
Cool. And then, as I've come out the other side of it, I then fire 2 Eldritch Blasts at the same one.
Nice.
Get him.
So... Oh!
Oh,
Natural 18 and natural 19
Nice.
Nice.
for a total of
nice.
24 points of force damage.
Nice.
Yes.
That one's looking very rough now. Okay. Are you doing anything else?
No, I'm good.
I'm
honey, I'm good.
You see Vanden at the helm looking down at this from where he is higher than all of you, and he's just... I can't stay up here. He raises a hand and gestures it over himself, sort of unpracticed. He's going to bonus action cast Zephyr Strike,
Oh, lad.
and he is going to run down to the creature.
We've got this. You need to stay up there.
I can help! And take 2 attacks at it.
Lovely, lovely.
Would there be a advantage because it can't move right now?
Yes. First attack hits.
Nice.
Second attack doesn't hit. First attack moves in fast, swings his short sword down, and slashes it across the creature's chest. And there's an explosion of force damage out of the blade over the creature.
Hell yeah.
So it's going to be a d6 plus d8. Nice.
Nice.
Oh, I like it when it's nice.
Yeah.
So it's going to take 8 points of slashing damage and 7 points of force damage. And then he's going to run back up to the helm. Zephyr Strike gives him an extra 30 feet of movement without
Hell,
opportunity
nice.
attacks. She's going to run, climb all the way back up to the helm. It's like, okay, fast.
Good job.
The creatures.
Can the one next to me make a con save, please? It's
see.
in the Moonbeam.
It is in the Moonbeam and it's
It
looking
is.
rough. It's an 18, but it still takes half.
Yes. Oh!
Me.
Okay, 19 halved is 9 radiant damage.
9 radiant damage. Oh, now it's looking very, very rough. You see more of its like fish scaly skin get blasted off by the moonbeam,
Grim.
and its frenzy just seems to get more manic
Oh no.
as it swings out towards Sariel. Please. That's a 24.
Oh boy. Relentless.
8 points of piercing damage
Okay.
on its first attack.
Oh. Okay.
And it's going to frantically swing its trident towards you. Yeah, that's 23.
Jesus!
For 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And
Ow.
then desperately is just going to swing out with its claws.
Okay.
And that's cocked. That's 16.
Shield.
As you see the third blow coming down, you just throw up another shield from the staff, and it knocks it back. You see it's like bleeding and blistering all over from the radiant light.
Sariel looks very rough.
It's going to move towards Cassian.
Can I get an opportunity attack?
You can get an opportunity attack. It's going to try and get out of the moonbeam.
I guess I'm going to have to hit it with my
Bonk.
the bonk damage.
Yeah.
She brings down Vanden. I feel down on it.
Hit her with the chair!
Oh god, 11.
11 doesn't hit, I'm afraid. Runs out of the moonbeam over towards the other one. The other one can't move.
So, Euphoria Breath. You need to roll a d6 for me, which determines what it does on its action now.
Right. 3.
Cool, so between 1 to 4, the target takes no actions or bonus actions, use all of its movement to move in a random direction.
So, random direction I will determine with a D100. Okay. Oh, it's gonna start yeeting off the side of the boat.
Oh, okay. This side.
Yeah.
I guess people get opportunity attacks.
Yeah. Cassian will immediately get an opportunity attack.
And it doesn't get to make the wisdom saving throw because it didn't roll high enough.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll take a swing at it with my sword. For 16.
That's its AC.
For 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage, and then it's going to keep moving and yeet off.
Bye.
This rock. I guess it would go further.
Yeah.
Jumps into the water. He just runs off the side of the boat. You see the other one like, what are you doing?
For a whole minute, this thing's just in the water like, ah!
Okay. The next creatures.
The mystery creatures.
Fog cloud is starting to disperse a little more now.
Okay.
However,
Oh no.
Cassian, you feel something just touch your back.
Hello.
Just a hand
Ew.
up against your back, and you hear in your ear. Can you make me an intelligence saving throw?
Oh, what?
Intelligence saving.
Oh no.
11.
Okay.
Oh no.
You are stunned, and you're going to take 16 points of psychic damage.
Oof.
Okay.
Okay. So. Shadow Moil's still up.
Okay. Sariel, something invisible, moves up to you. He's going to swing for you.
Okay. I still have shield up?
You still have shield up. And that's only a 12 to hit.
Cool.
Okay.
Don't hit me.
Like, it's almost like you hear something moving through the air, it hits against your shield, and you see it crackle through the magical energy, but you still can't see what swung for you. Astra.
Oh my god, okay. Bonus action. Astra is going to cast Healing Word at 4th level on Sariel.
Buddy.
She just sees Sariel take this damage and is like, nope. 4, 5, 6, 8, 13 hit points back.
Thank you.
That's his bonus action, and his action. Do I get a sense that what I'm doing is helping? Like playing counter charm at all, or?
It's definitely helped some of the sailors inside. I feel like you probably see like the weave of your magic working.
So I know that what I'm doing is helping people.
Yeah.
I will keep doing that then on my action. Bramble is a bit spooked by the invisible things,
That's okay.
and thus will just
Fly around.
uselessly, try and breathe on things, realise it needs to try and get it back, like just trill.
Okay, Sariel.
Would the thing that just got me
Yes.
have had to move through the moonbeam?
Yes.
So it will take damage.
Yes.
Can it make a constitution saving throw?
Let's see.
Idiot.
That's a 9.
Cool! So 3d10s of radiant damage. 12, 16 points of radiant damage.
Nice.
And is it concentrating on being invisible?
It will have to
Make a constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
Yes.
Makes it.
Okay. But it took some damage. Let's finish this damn green die. She will take a primal savagery Swipe at it.
You are flanking with Cassian.
Advantage. Oh my god.
Rude.
Rude 12.
12 doesn't hit, I'm afraid. Okay, Cassian.
I'm stunned.
You're stunned.
You're stunning.
Thank you. But I am stunned.
Okay.
Yeah, until the start of its next turn. Okay. Vanden's turn then. He is going to bonus action once again. Shout down to Sariel as he's like pulling his short bow around. Shout down to Sariel and be like, "Take another swipe."
She will. Oh my god! No, she can't.
Okay.
You got 1 and a 3. At advantage.
Still, he's gonna try and take his second attack because that uses one of his melee attacks. Use his short bow and try and shoot it. Yes.
Yes.
Nice.
So 9 plus 7, which is 16, which is its AC.
Oh, amazing.
Okay. Come on, come on. Doesn't take it down, it hits it square in the shoulder.
Cruelty.
But it's still standing
Oh,
with 2 hit points.
I want to ruin this thing.
Come on, hit me. I dare you. I'm stunned, bitch.
It is its turn. It's going to try and hit you. It's not smart. You don't have all of your hit points, so it gets advantage. And you're stunned, so it gets advantage.
But I also gets so it gets a straight roll,
Straight roll. Okay.
as I'm still heavily obscured.
Yes.
There's a lot to contend with right now.
That's just a straight roll for it. That is a 11.
Doesn't hit.
It doesn't hit.
Takes no
That's its
damage.
first attack.
Oh,
Okay.
Keep rolling.
Second attack is a 15.
miss.
Oh my god.
And then a 19.
Yes. It takes 12 points of necrotic
It
damage.
goes down as it lands a strike on you for 7 points of piercing damage.
Oof.
Oh, Cassian
As it-
also looks rough.
Brings its trident down and strikes against you. The necrotic energy like swells up the trident and over it, and it just crumples to the ground.
And Shadow of Moyle is still up.
Hooray! Way! The other one.
Yeet. Get off our shit.
Climb back up, very angry. Oh no, it was still euphoria.
It's still a
breath.
minute.
Is it a minute?
It's a minute of euphoria breath.
Oh, until it saves.
But it can only save. It can only get the opportunity to save on a 5 or a 6.
Really?
Yep.
So on its
God.
turn, so it needs to roll a d6
It needs to
again?
roll a d6. That's what I meant. This thing's
Yeah.
just going feral in the ocean.
Nice. Okay,
So roll a d6.
so the second one will roll a d6. It's a 4. It still just has to keep moving as far away as it can in a random direction.
Anywhere. It doesn't have to go away. It can just any random direction. It's just like, ah, here I go.
Let's figure out which direction it swims in this time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Off it goes, 30 feet away from the ship.
Yay!
God.
The other one's gone, the invisible creatures.
One of them is in Sariel's moonbeam.
One of them, the first one's going to have to make a con save.
Yes, it will.
So that's a 3.
Cool. 3 times radiant. Oh. 23 points of radiant damage.
And 22 hit points.
Oh!
It's like the moonbeam, you see like crackles and suddenly starts to crackle over the shape that's there, and for a moment you see a beautiful and yet very strange looking female humanoid figure before she just disintegrates in the moonbeam. Make a nature check.
Ooh, okay. Now I get an okay roll. 15.
15. You can probably determine that it's a fey creature and a siren,
Ooh.
and it is also no more.
And the other one was on my ass.
Hey.
Cassian, can you make me a wisdom saving throw at advantage?
Yeah, that's 22.
Nice.
Nice. Okay. You feel like there's like this quiet sylvan singing behind you. You feel it try and creep into your mind and charm you, but you shake it off easily. It's still invisible. Astra.
Okay. So I just saw my magic help Cassian with a like something.
Well, Cassian gets advantage because he's an elf.
Oh, of course. Okay, first of all, bonus action, healing word at 4th level on Cassian.
Thank you.
No, at 3rd level, sorry, because I haven't got any 4th level spells.
That's fine.
So it's 3d4. Nice, tasty, tasty. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hit points back, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Quite welcome. And then, as an action, Ash is going to keep playing.
Okay.
And say in silver. Okay, hear me out.
Hearing you out.
On the mast or in that little area, there would be like oil lamps or something, wouldn't
Yeah,
there?
there were lanterns hanging off the mast.
He's going to tell in Sylvan, he's going to speak to Bramble and say loose one. Bramble then, on his turn, is going to cast Mage Hand to basically knock one of the lanterns off so that the footprints of the invisible creature can be seen in the oil.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Please don't set the ship on fire.
They're not lit because it's
Okay.
daytime.
Okay.
Have Bramble make a dex check at advantage.
That's cocked.
That's cocked.
22.
22. Fine. I say it works. Bramble casts Mage Hand.
Mage paw.
Spectral dragon hand springs forth from the invisible creature and just knocks the lantern off the mast and onto the ground between Cassian and the invisible creature. And Cassian, make a perception check.
10.
10. Okay. You can't clearly see the creature, but you can start to see where it's like the oil's spreading around something that's standing there.
Okay.
Doesn't get his euphoria breath back either.
Okay. Sariel.
Can she see this thing?
Make a perception check.
Please. Oh my god, 9.
9. You can just see the oil seeping out in that direction.
Damn it. And I can't like guess as to where this thing is.
You know that there was something behind Cassian that struck him and stunned him.
She's gonna try and get closer
Okay.
to see if she can see anything.
So you can use your movement and make another perception check.
Please.
And I guess both of you would have heard Astra saying in Sylvan to to Bramble to knock the
Knock
lamp.
the lamp down, yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's a 10.
It's really not clear on the deck as the oil just spreads out.
I
seeing
hate
as this
these
thing
piss
hasn't
rolls.
moved yet.
Hate these piss rolls. I don't know what to do then if I can't see it.
You can hold your action to move the moonbeam, I'd say, if you want to.
Sure, I'll do that.
Cassian.
So I'm sort of aware of where this thing is.
Like, I'd say it's the starting to be aware of where it is, but you'd still be at disadvantage to hit it. You just know which direction to hit in.
Yeah, but am I aware that it is within a certain range of
Yes.
me?
It's within 5 foot of you.
I will move away, and can it make a dexterity save for me, please?
Okay.
As spectral blades swirl up around Cassian and just shoot out.
It's a 7.
Nice.
It takes 3 points of force damage.
3 points of force damage, and it has to make a concentration check.
Liz.
And it fails.
Yes!
You see it appear at the edge of the fog cloud, just like this humanoid female form with like black eyes and sharp teeth and finned ears. It screeches out at you as the invisibility drops. Like, okay.
Sorry, I was holding an action.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Can I make a Constitution saving throw, please?
Let's see. That's a 7.
Yay! 10 points of radiant damage.
10 points of radiant damage as the moonbeam just slides through the space Cassian has just made by stepping back and enshrouds this creature.
Yes.
Okay. Vanden's turn. From where he is, one hand on the helm, Vanden's just gonna fling a firebolt.
Towards the oil?
Mm.
Actually, I'll make a perception check, see if he saw all the oil on the floor first. He did not.
Oh! Oh no!
You dumb bitch!
Okay, he throws the firebolt.
Fuck!
This firebolt like flies forward out of his hand and strikes directly into the moonbeam where the creature's just appeared. It does 8 points of fire damage.
Does the oil catch fire?
Let's find out. No.
Oh
But he manages to strike the creature like in the chest,
my god.
and none of the sparks hit the oil.
Oh my god.
Cool.
That's the top of the round. Let's roll a d6. A 5.
It gets to, like, okay, let's find out what it does. It does get to make the save.
It doesn't move, and it can make a DC 11 Wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
God.
It's an 8.
This guy is out of the fight.
He just starts sinking into the water as it doesn't move. Okay.
Hell yeah.
She.
She, in the moonbeam.
Takes 3 d10s of radiant. Can she make a constitution saving throw?
Yes. 13.
That is the DC. 9. 13 halved 6.
6. She's looking very rough.
Good.
Hit me, bitch.
She's going to see Sariel or Cassian. Cassian. Okay, she's going to swing at Cassian then. That's a natural 20.
At disadvantage.
Okay, that's a 14.
That misses. Damn it! I did want her to hit, but I didn't want her to crit.
No.
Hit, but don't crit,
She
please.
swings forward, but she's in a bad state. She can't hit you through the shadows.
Nice.
Astra.
Why don't you make a Wiz 14 save for me?
That is an 18.
Oh. She just hears Astra's voice just like, please leave. Go on.
Was that isn't it whisper?
That was vicious mockery.
Please, just so vicious.
Please leave.
Please leave.
Please leave.
Please leave me alone. We are sailing.
I hope the gods broke whatever mold they made you out of.
Wow.
There you go. There's some vicious for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bramble's just gonna try and get this before her breath. Yep, that's a 6. So can it make a DC 11 Wisdom saving throw for me? As Bramble flutters over and breathes.
Whiz save. It's a 20.
She gets breathed on.
Just gets breathed on. You see it like you see her like flinch away from the breath. Are you doing anything else? That's everything.
That's everything I can do.
Sariel.
Can she make a constitution saving throw, please?
It's a 4.
Cool. Sariel flings out a hand and sends a flurry of snowflakes in her direction.
Ooh!
And she casts frostbite.
Nice.
She takes 7 points of cold damage and has disadvantage on her next attack.
Nice.
Next weapon attack. So, if she has any of those.
Okay. In which case, Cassian.
Cassian will take a step backwards if she wants to make an opportunity.
Baiting her.
That is a 14.
That misses.
Wow.
But now he is not in melee range and can send 2 Eldritch Blasts up
Nice.
her
Nice.
ass. One is a 17, one is a 15.
Both hit.
Nice.
4. Oh, really? 10 points of force damage.
You have the floor.
Yeah!
She just gets exploded by Cassian reaches out both arms, and from each comes an Eldritch Blast as they
Nice.
just take apart her form.
Just
Yeah.
blast straight through her body. And I would even say, because it's force damage, the force of them like starts to dispel the fog unless it blasts through the other side of her.
And as soon as
Yes.
her form is gone, he just drops the shadows around him.
Well done.
Well, that was a lot.
Vanden with his hands on the helm, just like, is everyone okay?
More or less.
Gonna go check on the crew who are potentially stunned.
Make a perception check in the fog, as it's still there.
No, a natural one.
Natural one.
I will assist Sariel on this. 20.
20. Okay. Sariel, where you move into the fog, you're like coughing and waving it away from your face, and you can't see anyone in that area. Cassian, where you move in on the other side, you can immediately see one of the sailors just prone on the floor. You move in, and you go to help him up, and you realise he's cold.
Oh no! Oh no! You found anyone?
Mark one down for the casualties. This man's not getting back up.
The other sailors start peeking out of the fog cloud, and you see Sam stepping out, like, all of you okay?
Let's see who we can help. We dropped the, like, sunshine shield. Kind of confused looking at it. And then go in and start trying to see who I can help and find.
A couple of the sailors are injured. You can help them either arcanely or just help them up and help them tend to their wounds.
We'll go over to Sam and be like, what do you want to do with this man?
Happens at sea. Let's just take him over to the bow for now.
Sure. Go. Place him down.
F.
Shouts back. Jeremy's down.
Jeremy.
You see a lot of the crew's like,
Thank God it was Jeremy.
Of all of us.
overcome the sadness, but there's work to do. Start pulling in sails and getting the ship moving properly again. And before long, you're out of the fog cloud. You can see the deck. A few of the crates sort of knocked over, but nothing particularly damaged. The sailors, apart from that one, all doing okay. Sounds like I want to stop and say something, but the storm's still catching up with us.
Yeah, how close is it now?
I mean, it's been like a couple of minutes, so it's not too much closer.
Okay.
You get the ship underway again. You see some of the other sailors. Marla goes over to help them. They pull out a spare sail and wrap the body up for now. And a few of them say a few quiet prayers. Vanden's up at the helm and is like, we have to keep going. This storm's going to be upon us any minute now.
Okay, just tell us what you need us to do.
Just batten down the hatches, see if you can get things tied down on the deck and inside.
Can do.
Sure.
Start doing that.
Run inside like the cabin and start tying things down and
Yeah, just bumping into the other sailors to sort of be like, let me help you with what you're doing, because then at least I can watch you do it first.
Yeah.
They show you how to tie off some ropes. They pull the sails in a little shorter, so there's less wind, less surface space for the wind to tear them, and prepare for the storm, which is catching up fast. Sam heads up to the helm, stands with Vanden, and the two of them, with their navigation tools, check over the course and talk quietly between themselves. But it's not long, maybe another 20 minutes, before the rain starts to hit. Just a light spattering of it. The wind's still picking up, the sky getting grey and dark.
Sariel's gonna secure her cloak of the manta ray around her shoulders,
Okay.
just in case.
You fix it around your shoulders and you feel the wind whipping around you, making it flat out behind you.
Ah, majestic sea flap flap.
Astra's gonna dismiss Bramble for now.
Good idea.
Just nose boops against Bramble's nose, and then Bramble just fades into little dust.
As the wind starts picking up and the crew start working, I am going to roll at advantage for now. A ship handling check.
Oh god.
You move on past the islands back into open water on the other side. The waves start to pick up slightly and the ship starts to scud, so it starts to roll on the waves as they move. It's a nauseating motion. Can everybody make me a constitution save?
Oh no. Natural 20. 21.
9.
6.
Okay. Sariel, you're fine. So Cassian and Astra, as you're moving around the ship, helping with ropes, being told what to do, just the movement of it has you absolutely nauseated. You'll make your next check at disadvantage.
Okay.
The ship is rocking on the waves, and the wind's picking up again. It brings with it blinding rain.
Oof.
As the storm clouds move overhead, you hear cracks of thunder, and you see, not towards the ship yet, but flashes of lightning. As the sea whips up around the sides of the boat, and the rain comes down so heavy on the deck that it makes the whole deck slick and makes visibility very poor.
Oh no.
Can everybody make me a DC 10 save? No addition.
Just a roll.
At disadvantage for me and Cassian?
Disadvantage for you, Cassian.
8.
11.
6.
Rolled an 11 and a 15.
Okay. Cassian, you find yourself sliding around the deck and are forced to go to the centre and grip onto the mast to stop yourself from, like, just completely losing it and having to, like, crawl across the deck.
From there, he'll extend his hand and send 4 dancing lights up to just start coming around, so at least there's maybe a little bit better visibility.
Okay, yeah, I'll take that into account.
Where is it? Where Astra stood, like wherever he is on the deck. He just like presses his hand against the medallion of Melora and light casts on it.
Cool, you throw up between you 5 lights across the deck. Vanden takes the cue and sets another one on the helm. And there's brighter light, which is good because the lanterns you can see are just swinging side to side. One of them blows off straight into the ocean. It stays this way for about half an hour. I'll roll another ship handling check.
Oh no.
Better. Okay. Managed to maintain this course even though it's being rolled on the waves. A boom of thunder flashes overhead and lightning comes down. It strikes the deck of the ship, leaving a scorch mark across it. Luckily hits nothing too vital. The waves picking up again. Much higher this time.
Oh.
You see the swells of the waves are reaching anywhere between 10 and 15 foot now, either side of the ship. Water is just sloshing over the deck. Can everybody make me a dex save?
Oh boy. 18.
18.
12.
Okay. Make one for the crew.
Me doing a little happy dance like, yeah, my dex is +4.
Okay. Astra, you and a couple of the crew members are slumped against the side of the ship. You'll take 2 points of bludgeoning damage as your ribs just strike into the wood, but you stay on the deck. Vanden's like, hold fast. Maybe tie yourselves down if you need to. You can see that it's starting to get darker, not because of the clouds now, but because the light is starting to leave as it gets late into the afternoon towards the evening. Your arcane lights floating about the deck are basically the only thing keeping visibility up.
I've seen Vanden do this before. Astra's going to go to the mast and cast light on the mast.
Yeah, you move it from your amulet, you run up to the mast and cast it on the mast. The whole mast, like 20 foot up of it, lights up like a beacon in the centre of the ship. As it does, it sheds this light outwards and you can see the peaks of the waves all around you, not just hitting the ship, but like the peaks of mountains if you were flying overhead.
Okay, that'll work.
It's good, Astra. Lightning strikes down again just into the water next to you and you see a flash as the electricity crackles across the surface of the ocean. Another hour passes like this, everyone holding on fast to the ship where they can, the crew running around and re-securing ropes. The storm seems to be getting heavier, the wind picking up again. You think this isn't natural, this doesn't feel natural unless you're sailing into the eye of a hurricane. The ship is rocking back and forth now, taking on water all the time. Can everybody make me another fortitude check, just a d20.
11.
19.
6.
6. Astra, you'll have disadvantage on your next check.
Cool.
You can see some of the crew starting to feel fatigued. The way they're just like holding on to ropes where the sails are straining against the wind.
Just do whatever we can to help them, and try not to be in the way.
Yeah.
Pulling himself to the back of the ship. You said that this doesn't feel entirely natural.
Yeah.
Pulling himself to the back of the ship and taking one of his dancing lights with him. Is there any odd source to this that Cassian can see?
Make an Arcana check.
21.
21. Okay. I would say that you feel just like the heavy atmosphere in the air that you feel in a storm, sort of the electricity through the air has something arcane to it.
This is magic. This is no real storm.
Can we dispel it?
And you need to know the source.
Probably.
You can see that the morale of the crew is starting to sink, especially with the revelation that this is a magical storm they're up against. Everybody make me another fortitude roll.
11.
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
10.
9.
9. Okay. Astra, you take a level of exhaustion.
Ooh.
Okay.
You feel the energy sapping out of you as the ship is thrown backwards and forwards across the waves. Between Vanden and Sam at the helm, they manage to get the ship down between the peaks of the waves again. And it stops rolling as much. But... Okay. Let's roll a d10 for who the lightning strikes.
Oh god!
God!
Sariel, you are going to take 4 points of lightning damage as the lightning you hear another crack of thunder overhead, deafening all of you, and the lightning just strikes down onto the deck and hits Sariel.
She's going to use as a reaction, absorb elements.
Okay.
Sick.
I guess as the lightning hits her, it sort of sinks into her skin almost, I suppose. She has resistance to lightning damage, I guess, for 6 seconds until the start of your next turn.
Sick.
This sort of shimmer of magic comes over Sariel as the lightning strikes, and some of it just absorbs into her body.
How rough is Sariel looking?
She's okay for the minute, but
Okay, Astra's gonna walk up to you after that and just hand on your shoulder
I'm okay.
you sure?
I'm okay.
You sure? Cure wounds level 3.
Oh, stop using all your spells!
No.
He's a helpful boy.
Oh! That's 24 hit points.
Christ! She's almost back on full.
Yeah.
Christ.
Nice.
Thank you. Just
Look after yourself.
you too.
You hear Sam shout down from the helm deck to 3 of the crew members. Get below decks, you need to rest, as you see them just it's you 3, grab a rope.
Okay.
Grabs rope.
Grabs a rope, points you in the direction of where those 3 were, just holding on and keeping control of the sails, letting them out and pulling them back in again. Vanden manages to steer the ship out of the worst of the waves, and now the way you're cutting through them, it's rolling, but it's more gentle. The waves are pushing it, but not slapping against the front of the ship. And the rain lets up a little, the ship's picked up enough speed in the high wind that it's managed to move out of the heaviest part of the storm. He's everyone doing okay? Grace?
Yes.
His voice kind of muted by the wind.
You're doing incredibly.
Some point we're going to have to rest, but I think this is going to go through the night.
Just tell us what you need us to do and we'll do it.
Okay, everybody, make me another fortitude check. Astra,
Disadvantage
for exhaustion.
Yeah.
15.
Cool.
5.
5. Cassian, you take a level of exhaustion.
Oh,
1.
Astra, you take another.
oh God.
You feel you're gonna have to go and rest below deck soon.
Half speed now, baby.
Oh no.
Aye.
Where do you need me?
I need you to rest. Astra, I can't lose you overboard.
Okay.
Get into the cabin.
Go into the cabin.
You see Sam nod to Vanden and race down to take over the position that Astra's just left. Astra, you're forced to head into the captain's quarters and you can lay down on the bed and bury your head trying to feel less nauseous at the swaying of the ship.
Oh god, feels worse inside.
You can see the water and hear the rain battering against the back windows of the cabin. Everyone up on the deck. That's going to make another ship handling check. As soon as it feels like you're coming out of the worst of the storm, away from the thunder, the wind picks up again and comes in inexplicably, or you guess arcanely, from a different angle against the side of the ship. It pushes the whole thing 45 degrees to the side.
Oh God.
Everybody make me a dex check. You're fine inside. Make a dex check to see what happens to you inside.
18.
18.
6.
6. Astra, you're thrown off the bed and across the cabin. Inflicting a point of bludgeoning damage as you land.
Oh God.
Struck against the wooden wall.
Oh my god.
This storm is relentless. He's just gotta scramble, grab his pouch, and just huddle with his pouch.
Okay. You see where Sam stood at the side of the boat. He's flung heavy against the side, almost goes over it, but where he's holding onto the rope, he's able to just clutch on.
And try and reach for him to pull him back in.
Make me an acrobatics check.
18.
18. Okay. You lunge forward from where you are and manage to grab onto his other arm and haul him back onto his feet. He's like, thank you.
It's okay.
The ship continues to cruise forwards for a while. It's been maybe 3 hours of this solid now. You're able to release the ropes a little and sort of let your hands rest when you're getting rope burn across your palms. And Sam's like, I don't know if we can keep this up.
I poke my head back out from the inside. Are we okay?
We'll stop swaying for a moment, but
So what can we do now to make everything better?
If this is a magical storm, it's not exactly going to leave us alone.
he turns up and he's like, Captain, you gotta make a call. Vanden's like, we turn course for land. First land we can find.
Seems wise.
We can't sit out this storm if we're gonna keep sailing.
Where are we right now?
Good question. Gonna make a navigation check and see if we can figure it out. Natural 20!
Yay! He knows.
Sam comes up and grabs the helm for a moment. He pulls his maps open and it takes him a few minutes. He's like, Cassian, we're not far off Cassian. A couple more hours.
Okay.
We could be there by dawn. We just have to keep sailing and hope the ship lasts.
We can do this.
I told you to rest.
I'm resting, I'm just seeing what's like.
Get back under there. That is an order, Astra.
Goes back inside.
As you do, as you disappear back inside, there's another roll of thunder, another crack of lightning. It hits the ship. It hits at the back end of the ship, the main topsail, and you see immediately it catches fire.
Okay, we need to put that out.
Because I would have heard the thunder. He just comes out and starts casting thaumaturgy to bring it back, quell the fire.
I'd say the size of the fire across the sail, you could be doing that for 2 hours trying to put this out.
Okay.
And it's spreading because it's across fabric.
Okay, Sarah will come to the back of the ship then. Everyone get behind me! And we'll use tidal wave to bring up
Okay.
a nearby wave and bring it down on the sail.
How tall can it get?
It can get 30 feet long, 10 feet wide, up to 10 feet tall.
Okay, I'm going to say you have to roll damage on the mast.
Okay.
But that would definitely put the fire out.
Yeah, it extinguishes unprotected flames. 7, 10, 12.
12. Okay. You see Sariel say, call everyone behind her, and the sailors move back as far as they can. And then she brings out her arms and basically, like, moves the rain into the shape of a wave and just hurls it over the fire.
Nice.
Extinguishing it instantaneously. You hear a crack down the mast.
How big is it?
About, well, you have to get up closer and inspect it.
Oh no, my dad's touch, never mind.
Okay, well, you've got that covered. I'm gonna...
I told you to stay inside.
I was trying to help.
Don't shout at him.
We need to see the damage on that mast.
Yes.
Marlowe's like, I'll go.
Do you need some help?
Wouldn't want to put you in danger.
We're all in danger right now.
He's gonna start climbing the rigging. You can see it blowing and swaying in the wind as well as he starts clawing his way up it, making it up to the mast. You see him inspecting it and he shouts down, "It's pretty bad."
I'm sorry.
It's okay, I'm gonna try and tie it down. Okay.
As he does, Astra's still on the deck, he's going to, like, pull out one of the little things of holy water and just, like, wringing it in his hands, sprinkle some water, and Marlowe is going to get a D4 as Astra casts Bless.
Okay.
On Marlowe and Vanden, because he's doing the ship, and himself.
Nice, okay. There's just a small shimmer of divine energy over your hands. It basically goes unnoticeable to anybody else. And you see Marlowe reach forward, almost stumble, then catch himself fine and lash a rope around the mast. He starts climbing back down. Vanden's going to make another ship handling check.
Add a D4.
As this happens, even as the mast is stabilised, where the sail has been torn through by the fire, you see it just flap helplessly in the wind, and the ship starts to just drift on the waves again, start rolling.
Is there a spare sail?
Yeah, up the front. Sam will run with you up to the front. There's another member of the crew there, and it's just like, let's get it out, let's get it out. You're able to pull these sails out. Huge piece of fabric.
I'm gonna try and get it to the other end of the ship and fix it where the broken one is.
You gotta get up to climb the rigging.
Yep.
Okay. It's gonna take at least 3 of you to do it. Make me a athletics check to climb the rigging.
Oh no. 2.
2. Okay. You find yourself slipping. Make me a dex save.
Oh no.
I'll try and catch her.
2.
It's a natural 1.
You find yourself slipping down the rigging and you are just flung off the side of the ship. Sariel, you're flung into the waves.
This is fine.
This is fine. Cassian, you watch momentarily helplessly as Sariel starts to climb and the wind just flings her off the side of the ship into the water. Okay, the other 2 are fine. They look back and Vanden shouts up to them, "Just fix the sail!" He calls down to Cassian and he's like, "Come and take the helm."
Okay. I'll run up and try and do that.
Just hold it steady. Whatever you do, hold it steady. Runs to the left of the ship. Sariel!
She's struggling to get her hood on for the cloak of the manta ray.
Make me a dex check in the waves.
Is that just straight?
Yep.
Dex check.
Yep.
8.
8. You can't get the hood up from where the waves are just turning you over and over in the water.
She's gonna keep trying.
Astra, are you doing anything?
Everything's on fire.
Is that blessed? Does that stay up?
Yeah, it's a concentration.
Okay. Where you're stood on the deck, feeling exhausted, there's not much you can do except watch.
He's going to come up to where Vanden and just ran to the back of the ship and be like, "We can tie a rope to the ship and then to her, or like to somebody to go and get her."
I'll go and get her. You tie it on.
Okay.
Grab one of the spare ropes. Just hold it steady, Cassian. Okay.
Still trying to get the hood up.
Make another dex check as Vanden throws out his wings.
better. 19.
19. Okay, you pull the hood up and suddenly you find you're able to swim better in the water.
I can breathe underwater as well now.
You suddenly feel yourselves breathing the water like it's air and
This is better.
no longer filling your lungs.
Okay. And I have a swimming speed of 60 feet.
Nice. Okay.
So Astra will be tying the rope on, and then turn to Vanden and just be like, around your waist.
I'll just hold it.
Okay. I would feel better if it was tied to you because the wind might take your wings.
You're right. I'm gonna tie it around his waist
Okay.
and jump off the back of the ship. Wings spread.
Just trying to call out from like being splashed by waves. I'm okay!
We don't want to leave you behind. Okay.
No, no.
Immediately, as he jumps off, just like Astra said, the wind hits his wings like a sail and pushes him way off to the side. Sariel, make me an athletics check.
Oh god, fucking athletics. Oh god, 2!
You find you can breathe under the water now and you can swim, but these waves are 10 feet
Intense.
high and they're just turning you over and over in the water. You're not even sure which way the surface is as you're trying to swim for it.
Astra's going to hold onto the back of the boat and light up like the back end of the ship with light,
Okay.
just so that there's like a beacon for Sariel and Vanden to like get back to.
Yeah, like the whole top of the railing
Yeah.
lights up.
He doesn't know how he's doing it either, but he's like, woohoo! Yippee! I guess I'm learning through Vanden.
Vanden sort of turns against the wind and just dives down towards the water. Wings fold back and he spots Sariel and just dives in. I'm going to make a dex check. Can you make me a dex save?
9.
25.
Nice.
He dives into the water and you see this glow emerging from the surface as he appears and just holds an arm out
Swim towards him.
and just grabs onto you. You're both in the water now, but holding onto one another.
Pulling.
Okay, make me an athletics check.
Disadvantage. Athletics +3. Okay, 15.
15. Okay, you're holding them in, and they surface before long, and Vanden's able to take off again. I would just check that I don't drop Sariel. I do not drop Sariel. That's 29. Just wraps an arm around Sariel, and as soon as you pull them up to the surface, takes off again, launches into the air, and flies back to the deck, sets you down.
Pull the hood off. Thank you.
Okay, you good?
Yes.
Let's see how the boat's doing. Starting to roll again as it's just steady, moving forwards through the waves. I'm just going to help him fix the sail.
Okay.
We've got down here.
He's going to take off towards the sail. Right, let me check for 3 of them. 3 of them.
3 of them.
Okay, thank God for that. Bless. You see as both Marlowe and the other sailor who climbed up the rigging to fix the sail are flung off to the side, able to like wrap their arms into the rigging and sort of, you see their elbows like snap against the brutal force of their own weight, but they can claw their way back onto the rigging.
Thank God.
Oh my god.
Lightning strikes just behind the ship as it like moves out of the range.
God.
Cassian, make me a strength check.
Why did,
good.
why did I even look? Crit.
Oh! You always crit on strength like when it's needed.
Do it for them, he said.
You see this huge wave picking up now, maybe 20 feet,
Oh.
coming towards the ship. You turn the wheel very slightly, and the bow of the ship just cuts into the wave as it comes crashing down onto the deck. Can everybody make me a dexterity saving throw? Cassian at advantage. But Astra at disadvantage.
Astra with disadvantage.
8.
16.
I got a +4 to my dex saving throw.
What did you get?
6.
Okay. Okay. Astra, you're going to take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. Sarah, you're going to take 2. And please both make me another dexterity saving throw.
Oh my God.
Dose 20.
18.
Okay.
At disadvantage.
Both of you are thrown against the lit up, like, back barrier of the ship, taking the bludgeoning damage in your side, but you manage to grab on and hold on tight before you can be flung into the water again. Between Vanden flying above the ship and the two sailors up in the rigging, you see them just loose the torn and burnt sail. It just disappears in the wind into the ocean, and string the other one up. Katelyn flies back down to the helm, lands on the deck. Okay, well done. Thank you, Cassian. I'll take it from you.
I'm alright.
Vanden takes the helm again. He's able to turn it so it's not into the waves anymore, and back onto course. You keep moving, the rain battering down. You travel like this for another 3 hours.
Oh god!
You seem to be managing to stay just ahead of the storm now with the new sail in place. It's not throwing you about as much, but everybody's going to take a level of exhaustion. You sail on all through the night. As you get out of the winds, Vanden does say that you can go below decks if you want to.
No. Nah.
I figured all of you were going to stay up on the helm.
Ash was like, I went inside for 2 minutes and I was needed outside.
The crew who went in below decks to rest come out and swap with the 3 who are still on deck. Vanden says he has the helm and Sam goes to rest, and the 4 of you stay up there on the top deck of the ship, sailing through the night as the winds howl and batter the sails. The waves push it side to side. You hear more wood crack, but no more serious damage happens. The rain floods the decks to the point it's just pouring off the side of the ships. Visibility is low. You continue this way until you see the first cracks of dawn light on the horizon, slowly starting to light up the sky. Within minutes, you're sailing out of the storm as you spot the island of Cassian ahead of you. The sky clears, gets lighter, both with the sunlight and with the storm being left behind you. And the Reveller sails out into the calm waters around the island. You look back behind you and you can see the sheets of rain coming down almost like a wall.
Is that normal? You said it felt magical.
Maybe we were supposed to come this way.
Or maybe whatever it was can't come this way.
Make a perception check.
Disadvantage.
Oh yeah, shit.
Everyone.
8.
10.
4.
So you can't really tell how far the storm goes. So you look back, you can see dark sky stretching out in both directions. But you're approaching Cassian. Everyone feels the tension sort of seep out of them as the sky turns blue above you in the morning light, with just small sort of streaks of white clouds. Completely bizarre separation from the storm you've left behind you. And ahead of you, you see a town settled into the cliffside. You can see a few palm trees and other towering trees of various types. Most of the land is arid around the bay itself. The rocky cliffs almost look painted in the way the sediment has formed layers of orange and red and black stone, and they raise high out of the water. You can see a small strip of what must be beach, although it looks dark. A jetty and these various buildings and houses. Up at the top of the cliff, you can see an old fort. There are a few small fishing boats about, and a couple of other larger ships docked at the jetty. Doesn't look like it's been touched by the storm at all.
Well, at least we'll get some refuge here.
Hopefully.
Time to repair the mast properly as well.
Yeah.
The ship moves inwards, and the sailors come out and they lower the sails down. You slow into the port. And it's not long until you've docked against one of the long jetties sticking out into the water. You can see all around you. You're still quite deep here, but along the cliff's edge and around the bay, it's a lot shallower. And you can see streaks of colour under the water.
Oh.
Coral reefs. Shoals of fish darting around. There are a few, must be children, maybe sea elves, sort of playing in the water around one edge of the cliff.
Can I look back towards where we came from, like towards where the storm is? Is it still there, or is it...
You can still see the dark sky.
This feels like a completely different world to where we just were.
You see a Triton man walking up the jetty. Dark blue skin and long, dark, straight hair that looks wet. As he approaches, as the sailors start sort of jumping down and tying up the ship, he's like, "Hello! Welcome to Puerto Arcoris.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We need
Looks
to
like
get...
you've taken quite the battering."
Yes, the big old storm back there.
Yeah, we've been watching that. It's been like that since last night. Bit strange.
Is it normal around here to get storms that bad?
I mean, on occasion.
Well, hopefully it seems to be changing track right now.
Right. Let me speak to your quartermaster, and sort of walks up from the jetty onto the ship and finds Sam. And you see Sam just exchanging the normal pleasantries with him about dock fees and talking to him about possible repairs. He comes back over to you and is like, "Speaking to your guy back there,
Yeah,
looks like it's going to take a handful of days, maybe 4 or 5 at least, to
That's
get this
right.
thing fixed."
that's fine. How much will it cost?
Probably maybe 30-40 gold.
Okay. I can pay that now if you want.
You can pay on return, that's fine.
Okay.
But we're probably going to have to hull your ship off to the side, and I don't think you can stay on it.
Right.
Is there somewhere to stay on the island?
A couple of places. There's the communal longhouse on the bay. That's where a lot of sailors stay. It's a cheap place. Rooms are sort of 40-50 people. Although we don't have a lot of sailors in at the moment. Or there's the Dragon Tree.
What's that?
Go on.
It's just the other side of the city, out into the wilderness a little bit. It's kind of a fancy place. It's quite a bit more expensive. Sort of 5 gold a night kind of place.
I think you've just piqued his interest.
I think we should be going there.
I can point you in the right direction.
Please do.
I'm not too keen on walking all the way though. I'm feeling a bit exhausted, honestly.
Yeah, that's true. You look wiped.
Well, if you need some breakfast and a place to rest, I can recommend a tavern in town.
Yes, please.
The Crystal Naiad. You can't miss it. You'll see the beautiful mosaic on the outside. Just head in towards the center.
Sounds good. Thank you.
And it's still very quiet. You just go back onto the ship, get his things, and step back onto the jetty. Let's find this tavern then, I guess.
You're right.
Yeah, fine.
You did incredibly well out there.
Just feel like I might collapse.
You and me both.
Cassian moves to hold his hand.
He'll take it, he'll squeeze it and then let go again. You make your way up into Puerto Alcoris. It's a small but spacious port city in the Asilio Bay. It's laid out, you realise, as you move through it in a perfect grid. The houses here seem to be built from kind of black rock. Make a nature check.
No. I know I wouldn't have seen this kind of rock around.
Okay.
Disadvantage, right? Ah, dang it!
18!
18.
12 and a natural 20. Damn it.
Cassian, that actually makes a lot of sense. You probably recognise the igneous rock because quite frequently when it forms, it produces gemstones on the inside.
Oh!
As you move around, you realise these houses are made of lava rock.
There must have a volcano somewhere around here.
What?
Is it all... This is lava rock.
Oh!
You did say something about a volcano.
An underwater one, but yeah, I guess there's probably more than one peak, maybe on the island.
Maybe so. Interesting.
Why? The lava rock, why is it interesting?
Just... It's unusual, you know?
It is cool.
Not many active volcanoes around.
Sorry, I'm a little bit out of it.
You know what a volcano is?
It's a mountain that makes fire.
Great.
I like your funny words, Magic Man.
That's for any given moment. Okay, no, I don't know what a volcano is.
It's a big mountain that makes fire. Let's go get you some breakfast.
You move on through the town. You see that a number of the igneous rock houses are also plastered in bright colours. There's oranges, pinks, teals, all of them catching in the morning light. Most of them have sort of Baroque ornamentation and carvings on the outside. Dark wooden shutters and sort of wooden Juliet balconies sticking out from the upper windows. Some of them look like houses built over shops. Other ones just beautiful houses. You can glance in through a window and see the mosaic floors on the inside, full of natural light. The mosaics on the outside of the buildings seem to sort of lace doorways and window frames, and many are studded with sea glass that glitters and reflects the sun. The streets are packed dirt, not paved, but neat and kept pretty flat by endless footfall. You move towards the centre of the town and you pass through a large square with neat cultivated gardens in the centre, sort of like a circular with a few bits coming off it, full of exotic looking plants. To one end you see a small temple adorned with wrought iron embellishments and painted a brilliant fade of red to burnt orange, with a large anvil symbol above the door.
Do any of us know what that is?
Make a disadvantaged religion check.
That looks like the blacksmiths that we went to.
Oh, got another natural 20. 24 though, still.
Yeah, Vanden got very high as well.
Yeah.
You would know that this is Temple to Moran.
Oh, it's a Moran temple.
That's a temple?
Yeah.
It would make sense if they have a volcano, I suppose.
Yes, he's god of the forge, and supposedly Moran forged the entire world out of a volcano, so...
Tracks.
That's fascinating.
You can see nothing open yet, just people setting up. A number of stalls in this central square, and you can see signs painted with like images of fruits and plants, and clothing, but nothing's open just yet. Instead, you move through the town and sort of ask someone for directions, and they can put you towards the Crystal Naiad. You come up on this standalone building. From the outside, it looks pretty peaceful, like painted with a white plaster with some teal decorations. Kind of slightly more humble wooden shutters. Stained glass windows set inside them with the same sort of thick, opaque glass, like sea glass inside it. A small single wooden door at the front. And you can hear people clattering around inside, probably preparing for the morning. You push in, and it's a very small, very enchanting looking place, with dark wood throughout and strings of lights hanging from the beams on the ceiling. There's just a couple of people in here having breakfast, sort of tucked into a corner, and a barmaid working behind the bar who looks up. It's like, oh, new faces?
Hello, just arrived.
You look like you've taken a beating.
Yes.
It's quite a storm.
Quite the storm last night.
You've come in through the storm? We weren't expecting anybody.
This was very unfortunate. Cassian walks up, puts 4 gold down, and just says, breakfast. The best you have, please.
Of course. Please get comfortable and we'll bring you out drinks and breakfast and just rest.
Thank you so much.
What are the seats like?
Like, again, dark wood and with like a sort of colourful cushion.
Are they big enough to like curl up legs on?
You can probably, pull your legs up onto the seat? Absolutely.
Astra curls up on the chair, just like legs up on next to his chest, leaning against the back of the chair, tail curled around himself.
Astra sort of curls up straight away. Cassian, make a perception check.
Okay.
Why me? 11.
11. Okay, as you walk over to the table too, you pass a large mirror and you catch your reflection in your peripheral. And then you look over at the others and it slowly starts to sink in why everyone keeps saying you look really wrecked. All of you, windswept, salt caked onto your faces and through your hair. Everybody like haggard, tired lines under their eyes. And your clothes just, again, caked with like those sort of white stains of salt all over.
A single tear.
He bites his lip and tries not to cry. And then he realizes how exhausted he is and just lets himself cry.
Oh!
Just goes and sits back down with everyone for now.
God, I just love this dramatic bit!
This is a problem to fix later.
And sort of sit down in that nobody wants to talk, exhausted state of having not slept. You look a little bit feral.
Me specifically?
Right now, yes.
I just saw my reflection.
Come here.
What's wrong with this?
And it's gonna sort of just fix your hair as best he can. Well, have you seen the state of us?
Can I please put my head on someone's shoulder?
Come here.
I don't want to look.
Don't!
Sarah will very gently sort of start combing through Astra's hair to try and get the salt out of it.
Astra, we're going to a fancy hotel.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have baths. Baths that won't make you say silly things.
I'd like that.
And beds, real ones.
Real beds.
Real beds.
On land.
And maybe perfume.
Oh, I'd like that so much, Cassian.
We deserve it.
Mm-hmm. Reaches his tail out towards you and just
Like, head nuzzled into Vanden's shoulder, hand gripping Astra's tail. This is the most touch he's had in a very long time, and he won't let either of you go.
Touch-starved man.
And he's just gonna bring his hand up and like scratch Cassian's head.
Oh! He lets out a noise, but it's not quite that extreme.
The waitress brings over like a relative feast for 4 gold, for 40 quid's worth of breakfast.
Oh my God.
hell yeah.
Lays out fresh fruits and
Pancake
fish.
charcuterie
Yeah.
Shock coochie.
Yeah, lays out fresh fruits and like fried fish and cold cuts of meat and cheese, like freshly baked artisan bread, and lays this all out with like a couple of pots of tea and some fresh juice, like fresh mango juice.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
When you release his tail, he'll use his tail to bring food from the table to himself because he's like, I'm not moving.
And the 4 of you can just sort of like start to recover a little bit.
I can imagine food would taste so good after that night.
You notice that the first few bites are really salty as you've gotten so much seawater and rain into your mouths. But you can wash it away with the mango juice. Everyone revitalizes a little bit after about 10 minutes of eating in silence. You know, I'm feeling a little bit giddy, probably with the lack of sleep and the adrenaline, but we survived that.
We did.
And we got attacked as well.
We did.
That was a lot.
That was a lot.
Good job.
We've got days. We're just going to find the fancy inn and
Have a nice time.
Holiday.
yes.
Enforced holiday.
Forced holiday.
Oh, and this place looks beautiful. And then the storm will pass. And
And we'll carry on.
then I don't care what happens. I don't care anymore.
Too tired to care.
hmm
I think I might sleep for a week.
After food, you can go sleep all day at the hotel.
All day.
All day.
We might not find someone who can get us up there. Because otherwise it might take all day to get up there.
You can eat your breakfast and find your way back out of the Crystal Naiad and find someone with a cart and a horse to just take you the couple of miles across the town to the sort of like entrance path of Dragon Tree House.
Bougie.
It has like sort of a thicket of exotic trees, like palm trees and other kinds of jungle trees on either side of this beautiful like gravel path that winds into them. And that is where the cart stops, and the driver tells you you'll have to walk the rest of the way. It's not far.
Okay.
Never been to a tavern with an immaculate driveway before.
No, this isn't a tavern, Sariel. This is so much more.
Okay. You make your way down this winding path, and whilst it's light now, you can see like coloured sea glass lanterns hung through the trees that must get lit at night.
Cute.
Eventually, a few minutes down the path, you reach a courtyard, flagstone courtyard, with a huge fountain in the middle, and around it, what looks like a mansion.
Are we in the right place?
Yes.
Surely not.
There is a sign down sort of at the end of the path that just says Dragon Tree House. The mansion is 3 stories high, very impressive facade of like white plaster at the bottom, and then this same dark wood carved balcony and shutters on the upper levels. You can see like some of it hangs over and throws beautiful shade over the areas below, and outside there are a number of paintings of what looks like the island and the culture sort of hung up. Everywhere, plant life. This place is just hanging with greenery. There are plants growing down from the balconies, there's palm trees, there's plants at ground level with like beautiful red flowers that are just opening for the day. And this trickle of water from the fountain, just this constant ambience. You can hear birds chirping in the trees all around you. And to one end of the house, you realise that it's somewhat built into this giant tree, which must be the dragon tree. With these sort of hundreds of spindly branches growing upwards and opening out into a large flat canopy that throws shade over whatever is behind the house. There's an open archway. You can see terracotta flooring inside and a desk with a young woman sat behind it. Make your way inside and you see the attendant. Human, you expect, or there's something about her you think that she might have a little of something else in her. Young, maybe 19 or 20, with tan skin and dark eyes, wearing a loose white flowing dress with flowers in her hair, which is like all up in a bun.
Pretty.
She's like, "Hi,
Hi.
Good day.
do you have a reservation?"
No.
No.
But we would love to book some rooms.
Do you have any spare?
Oh, absolutely. The storm has stopped quite a few people from coming in.
Right.
We just came through it. So we would definitely...
I'm sure you're very much in need of a rest.
Do you have baths here?
We do.
Thank you.
We even have a pool.
Oh,
So, rooms are 5 gold a night for a double or a twin, and 10 gold a night for a suite with 4 beds.
Oh. A suite, eh?
let's take the suite.
Vanda's like, yes, the suite, absolutely. Fantastic. How many nights do you think you'll be staying?
We said at least 4 or 5, didn't it?
5 nights.
Vanden leans forward and is like, please just open a tab. We have no idea. Very well, thank you very much. If I can just have a signature. Slides a sort of open parchment book across the table. Okay. Thank you very much.
Does he sign the entire page? No. You did that so large.
Astra, a signature.
Right, Astra.
Thank you very much, Mr. Astra.
That's my first name.
My apologies.
That's okay.
She digs in a drawer behind the desk and pulls out like 2 brass keys. It's like, I will show you up to your suite.
Thank you.
Most of the house is empty at the moment. We have 15 rooms in total and only 3 of them are occupied, so
Okay.
you'll have most of the place to yourself.
How nice.
Breakfast is served until midday, and you can just head on down to the dining room and have that anytime.
Thank you. Breakfast.
So leads you back out into the courtyard and around the side of the building and up like a long dark wooden staircase with these beautifully curved like sort of hand railings all the way up to the top onto one of the wooden balconies. And then she leads you all the way along down the corner of the other building and up another staircase to the 3rd floor. And up here you just see one door. She's like, you're sweet.
Oh. Perfect, thank you.
She hands you the keys. If you need anything, I'll be on the front desk. My name is Nyara.
Nyara, thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything.
And she leaves you to it.
With excitement and much enthusiasm, Cassian opens the door.
You unlock this, it's like a wide door with more beautiful carvings on them. You're too tired to pay attention to any of them right now. And you pull it open. And you see it leads into like another wide room with more terracotta tiles on the floor. Coming off it, there's an archway into a smaller room and 3 more doors. And at the other end is just a huge window with open shutters, the breeze blowing in, keeping the room cool, and a balcony beyond that. In this room, there's like seating and a small table and another sort of like coffee table shaped table.
With as much enthusiasm that moving at half speed can give me, I'm heading out to the balcony to just take in the view like,
You head straight through. You walk straight across this room, weave in and out around the furniture, which is all again like these dark wooden seats with colourful cushions, and push open the shutters onto the balcony. And you step out, and beyond you, you can just see forest. And above that, you can see this huge rock jutting out in the centre of the island, out of the canopy of the forest. You can hear the birds singing, feel the warm air blowing against your face. At the top of what must be maybe a volcano or a mountain in the centre, there's like a constant haze of white fog swirling around it at altitude. You feel this sort of ease settle over all of you. Perhaps just the adrenaline leaving your bodies. And you step out onto the balcony, stare out over the canopies, and you think, for the first time in weeks and weeks, you're just going to be able to relax.
Wow.
yes.
You look down and you can see a stretch of, like, must be man-made pool with blue waters in the gardens. The occasional hummingbird buzzing past. You move back inside, and without really caring which rooms you head into for now, you collapse onto the beds and fall quickly asleep, buried into the soft mattresses, paying little mind to anything else around you. You sleep like the dead for a good few hours, until you're rudely awoken by the ringing of a loud and large bell somewhere in the town. Ding ding, ding ding, ding ding.
I want our money back.
And the distant call of a town crier. The ceremony of the slumbering sentinel has begun.
But I'm a slumbering sentinel.
I think that's where we'll end tonight.
Oh no!
Damn, guys!
That was so good!
That was hell.
That was a lot.
Well done though on like that boat shit. That was a lot.
That was a lot.
you.
Boat shit. What a boat.
Lot of boat.
A boatman.
Thank you so much.
I'm very excited to see what you guys think is going on here. And you guys.
You guys.
Theories,
We
please.
will see you next week for more of this. Thank you so much for playing.
Thank you for DMing.
Thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you next week for more Rising Dawn, Eye of the Storm. Until then, we are nyxrising, and we love you. Bye. Bye. Vanden points out these what?
Is what? Eat prawns.
Blessed evening, friends. It's Sariel. Thank you for joining us for the first part of Eye of the Storm. Did you know that Life of the Party now has a TikTok? You can follow us over there at LOTPDND. If you want to help us fund our adventures, you can support us at patreon.com/nyxrising, or check out our Teespring merch store, where we have new Delphos Academy and Dawnbringers designs. Special thank you as always to our executive producers, Catelyn Ferguson, Alexandra Johnson, Liam Moran, Mason Scott, Meghan Charles, Adira A, Emily Hogarth, Jameson M, and Lissa. Until next time, may the Moon Mother's grace guide you, and we'll see you on Wednesday.